30 seconds till broadcast. Mark.
Following is an exclusive presentation of the Auburn Sports Network, a division of Playfly Sports.
Never before has Auburn faced a non-conference schedule as tough as this season. The road portion of that schedule begins tonight against the number 4 team in the country in its backyard. Good evening and War Eagle from the Battleground 2K24 at the Toyota Center with Randall Dickey and Brad Law. I'm Andy Burcham. Auburn opened its season with a surprisingly easy win over Vermont on Wednesday. The Tigers drilled 10 three-pointers, 7 for newcomer Miles Kelly. He led 5 Auburn players in double figures with 21 points. Houston had its way with Jackson State this week. The Cougars drilled 12 threes and played its brand of suffocating defense. Calvin Sampson's team is a veteran bunch led by one of the best backcourts in America. The last time Auburn faced Houston was the second round of the NCAA tournament 2 seasons ago. The Tigers led by 10 at the half, but the Cougars flipped the switch in the second half and ended Auburn's season. Just a handful of players from that game will be on the court for both teams here tonight in Houston. Game 1 of tonight's Battleground at 2K24 is still underway. 7:31 to go in the second half, with Florida State leading Rice 55-41. We will keep you up to date on that game as we get ready for tonight, Auburn and Houston. The CB&S Bank countdown to tip-off starts now.
Exclusive pregame coverage of the Tigers begins now with the CB&S Bank. Coming up, analysis, views, and look around college basketball. CB&S Bank has been family, community, and financially strong since 1906. Visit cbsbank.com. Alongside Coach Randall Dickey, here's the voice of the Tigers, Andy Burcham.
We welcome you to Houston, Texas, where tonight the Auburn Tigers face the Houston Cougars. It is a number 11, number 4 matchup as far as the polls are concerned. The Ken Pom poll matches this game as number 1 Houston against number 2 Auburn. Along with Randall Dickey and Brad Law in our Auburn Sports Network studios, I'm Andy Burcham. Glad to have you with us for this late night game. It's going to be a little bit later as a result of the first game tonight with Florida State leading Rice 55-49 at the 7:37 mark of the second half. This Auburn game will be starting a little bit later than the 8:30 tip-off tonight. Randall Dickey alongside. First of all, let's talk about the Wednesday game against Vermont. The Auburn head coach was firmly convinced that game was going to be a struggle for Auburn, where the Tigers go on about a 20-0 run in the first half and never looked back in that win against a really good Vermont team that has picked to win again that America East Conference.
Well, I know going into that game, the coaches were very concerned about the success of the Vermont program and what they have done over the past 4 years. Been to 3 NCAA tournaments and are picked to win the American East again this year. But Auburn seemed to do something that I really am excited about watching them again tonight, is if they continue the trait of starting fast and ending fast. They got off to a great start. They kind of blitzed Vermont, and the Catamounts never could recover, and the Tigers just rolled.
Auburn won that game by a score of 94-43. Said Vermont wants this to remain in a 60-point game. I'll be satisfied if we get the game to 70s. Wow, Auburn scored 94 and went to its bench and brought in some walk-on. I just don't think that's what he expected in that game opener against Vermont.
Well, I was really impressed with the length and the quickness and the pressure that Auburn's defense established early in the year. A lot of times when you're playing new players, especially our guard play is a little bit new, we've got a lot of older players, but we're incorporating some new guys in there. And to establish your defense, it always starts at the point right at midcourt. The Tigers were sensational the other night, pressuring the basketball, getting into the passing lanes, turning that into instant offense, which resulted in the 90-point scoring margin.
Houston opened up at home, beating Jackson State 97-40. Houston hit 12 threes in that ball game, as a matter of fact. They won that game much like Auburn did. They played on Monday, but they won their much like Auburn did on Wednesday night.
You know, when you dissect this game, there's so many similarities, even though a little bit contrasting styles of play. But I'm looking forward to the twofold game, the game against the players, but you've got two marquee matchup in the coaching field. Kelvin Sampson's won 764 games in 36 years, and Coach Pearl's over 600 games in 30 years. That's a marquee matchup. You got two NCAA basketball teams that are performing early in the year in November. It's going to be a great matchup between the two. You got marquee matchups between Janai Broome, the All-American from Auburn, and also L.J. Cryer, just one of the most terrific guards in the nation, and from Houston.
This backcourt of Houston, of Cryer, who's a grad student from Katy, Texas, Milas Uzan, who transferred to Houston from Oklahoma, and Emmanuel Sharp, a 6'2" redshirt junior from Tampa, Florida. These trio, they're going to be among the best backcourts that Auburn will face in this considerable Auburn season.
Well, they're just Houston and Coach Sampson's defense has always been very physical, hard-nosed, kind of rough and tumble around the basket. It's going to be interesting to see how Auburn faces that, because the Houston Cougars are going to challenge them physically. They're going to be up in their face. You and I were talking earlier how much the three officials kind of play into this game could dictate a lot of the tempo for both teams.
It will be a physical basketball game tonight. Auburn doesn't mind playing physical, and we know that Houston absolutely loves to play a physical brand, especially in the low post.
Yeah, I think it's really important that, we like to run a little bit more. We have a lot more freedom offensively per man. Houston tries to dictate where their shots come. They're a little bit more methodical. Even though they score a lot of points, they're going to kind of dictate where their shots come from on the floor. They set a lot of physical screens. It's going to pose some concerns or situations that Auburn hadn't been in up to this time, but I'm anxious to see our athleticism, our quickness, and our length make a difference.
2 years ago in the NCAA tournament, Auburn led by 10 at the half. But boy, our hopes were high that Auburn would be moving on to Kansas City in its first Sweet 16 since the 2019 season. Boy, the switch flipped in the second half. Houston established itself on the low post, absolutely hit the offensive glass, and decided to foul Janai Broome the entire second half, and every one of those aspects of the game turned out and worked well for Houston that night in Birmingham.
Well, I think you're going to see the same thing tonight in different ways. Coach Pearl is one of the great adjusters as far as the game is concerned, of tweaking things at a halftime talk with his players. Coach Sampson's another guy that certainly makes great adjustments at halftime, in between timeouts and things like that. So if they see a weakness, they're going to take advantage of it, whether it's the Auburn Tigers against the Houston Cougars or whether Coach Sampson from the Houston makes adjustments in how the Tigers are affected by that. Certainly is going to play out as the game unfolds.
5:06 to go in the first game tonight, and Florida State leads Rice by a score of 58-51. Safe to say the Auburn game will start much later than the 8:30 anticipated start here tonight. Back to that game 2 years ago, and that's the last reference we have between Auburn and Houston. As a matter of fact, Houston has dominated this series, 7-1 against Auburn. Auburn's only win against Houston was way back in 1962 at the Sam Houston Coliseum. Auburn won that night 71-69 that night. So Houston has dominated this series. But back to that game 2 years ago, and something that has been brought up by both Bruce Pearl and Stephen Pearl, who has tonight's scout. If Auburn doesn't keep Houston off the offensive glass, it could be a very long night for the Auburn Tigers.
Well, there's not any doubt, and you've got to give the Houston Cougars credit. Since 2017-18 season, They're number one in America in total wins. They've won over 209 games in that short span. Coach Sampson has been to the Final Four. The Auburn Tigers have been to the Final Four. What a great matchup. Magical players on the floor, two unbelievable coaches going at it. It's going to be a special night in the Toyota Center here in Houston.
Both of these head coaches are in their 11th seasons at Houston and at Auburn. Now, it took a little bit longer for Bruce Pearl to turn things around at Auburn. His record at Auburn is 201 and 119. For Kelvin Sampson, 265 and 79. And like Bruce Pearl, he has established Houston as a national power. Year number one in the Big 12. They won the Big 12 regular season a year ago. They are picked second behind Kansas this year.
Well, he's no stranger to the Big 12, being a longtime coach at the University of Oklahoma. The University of Houston in the greater Houston area has produced some of the great players each and every year forever, and he's established his recruiting in this area, even though he has some players from out of state and across the country, as a lot of teams do. Their base recruiting is right here in the city.
Under 5 minutes now to go in game one tonight here at the Toyota Center. And Florida State has forged a 9-point lead, 60-51 at this point. So Auburn's game will be rather later, considerably later than the 8:30 start that we anticipated, likely to be 8:35, maybe 8:40 before Auburn and Houston tips off. Next up for the Tigers will be Kent State at Neville Arena next week, and then Auburn is off until it goes to Maui to play in the Maui Classic against Iowa State in about a week and a half, as a matter of fact, in the Hawaiian Islands. But here tonight it is Auburn and Houston. Houston is ranked number 4 in both the AP and the coaches poll, and number 1 in the Ken Palm poll. Auburn ranked number 11 in the AP and the coaches poll, and number 2 in the Ken Palm poll. So this is the premier matchup in college basketball here tonight, Randall.
Well, I like the idea of the Ken Palm poll. The number 1 and number 2 team in America playing early in November is going to establish a lot of things for college basketball. It's going to set the tone certainly for the SEC. It's going to set the tone for the Big 12. They're going to be two teams that, hey, who knows what's in the future? We may see each other down the road later in March.
Auburn could say that probably on a couple of its upcoming opponents.
Well, it's a little bit unusual also that we're playing, we open up against Iowa State, which is a Big 12 team. They're ranked 5th in the country right now. And in the AP poll, as far as in the Big 12, they have an outstanding program. So we're going to get a chance to play a couple of different teams in the Big 12, which the Big 12 has a great reputation for good basketball. But the SEC, the length, the athleticism, is going to be really fun to watch against the the physicalness of the Big 12.
No question about that. And then, of course, Auburn faces Big 10 opponents coming up in both Ohio State in Atlanta and Purdue in Birmingham. And then, by the way, in the ACC, Auburn gets Duke at Duke, could play North Carolina in the second round of that Maui Classic. This is the possibility for Auburn in Maui, all right? And granted, we don't know what's going to happen. Iowa State, we know. It could be North Carolina and UConn in back-to-back days after that Iowa State game if things turn out well for the Tigers.
Wouldn't that be sensational for the Auburn University, this basketball program? And I think it's something that Coach Pearl has envisioned for a long time, is to get to the most elite status, to where that you can play a unbelievable, tough non-conference schedule. Hey, let's not forget the SEC is always a grind as well. So it's going to be tough all the way through, but our players will be tested. They'll have an opportunity to get better, and I am so excited about watching how far this basketball team can improve throughout the season and all into March.
It was a very good start for Auburn on Wednesday against Vermont. Everything worked well for Auburn. The Tigers shot 56% from the field, 45.7% from three-point land. But look at what Houston did against Jackson State last week, or earlier this week. 97 points, shot 58% from the field, 60% from three, and did not miss a free throw. Both of these teams won in similar fashion in their season and home openers.
Well, they sure did. I think I'm surprised that kind of opened all the fans that the Tigers have is Miles Kelly's explosiveness. His scoring the other night was really fun to watch. The quick release, got a quick feet. He's got quick hands. He's got a quick release. And, boy, he was fun to watch the other night. And I hope that he has several games like that throughout the year.
He made his last 5 threes in that game en route to 7 threes on the night and 21 points to lead Auburn.
Also,
Tonight,
I have to point out.
Yes.
You know, he made the 90-foot shot after the buzzer on a foul.
Sure did.
I wish that was on camera because I don't know if a lot of the fans that have been there, but when you throw the ball from baseline to baseline, it goes to the basket. That's something to brag about, whether it's during live play or just in practice.
Tonight it is Auburn and Houston to give you a rundown on a very busy day inside and outside the Southeastern Conference. We'll send it to our Auburn Sports Network studios, and here is Brad Law.
All right, Andy, thank you very much. Yeah, it's the first Saturday of college basketball and another Saturday of SEC football. Lots going on in the league and in college sports in general. Auburn is one of 4 SEC teams in action today on the hardwood. 2 have already won big. Another is struggling on a neutral floor in the Lone Star State. Plus, football providing plenty of fireworks.
From the home of the SEC Tournament champions to the expanded boundaries of the toughest conference in college basketball, this is the Toyota SEC Report. No matter your destination, Toyota goes with you. Toyota, let's go places.
We'll start with hoops. 16th-ranked Arkansas against number 8 Baylor in Dallas. The Hogs started slow, trailed by 9 late in the first half. They trailed at halftime, but actually started the second half on a run, tied the game at 44. From that point, though, the Bears have extended back out in front by 9. 7:50 to go in the ballgame. Baylor leads 63-54. Remember, the Bears were embarrassed by Gonzaga in their opener, while Arkansas just got by Lipscomb in their opener, and it's gone Baylor's way. 63-54, Bears on top. They're shooting 50% from the floor in the game. Arkansas shooting right at 40%. Still a little ways to go, 7:50, but Baylor commanding this one by 9, 63-54. Earlier today, 12th-ranked Tennessee just sort of smothered Louisville, winning the game 77-55 on the road. The Vols shot 56% and held the Cardinals to just 26% from the field. So when you outshoot a team by 30 percentage points, usually going to go well. Now, Tennessee does not play a ranked team until they open conference play with 3 straight opponents who, at least as we sit tonight, are ranked in the top 25. Meanwhile, in Lexington, Mark Pope hit 100 again. Kentucky blitzed Bucknell 100-72. It is the first time since 1978 that the Wildcats hit a hundo in back-to-back games to start a season. They will play Duke Tuesday. Over to football. Number 16 Ole Miss controlled third-ranked Georgia from start to finish, crushing the Bulldogs 28-10. The Rebels gave up a touchdown on the opening drive of the game, but then sacked Carson Beck 5 times after that and forced 3 turnovers. Dogs will play Tennessee next week. Rebs are open. South Carolina took care of Vanderbilt 28-7 in Nashville. Rocket Sanders rushed for 126 yards and 2 scores as the Gamecocks get their 6th win of the year. 5th-ranked Texas destroyed Florida 49-17. Quinn Ewers threw 5 touchdown strikes as the Horns moved to 8-1, and the Gators drop to 8-5. 3 games that are in progress right now in the SEC. They're in the third quarter in Knoxville. Number 7 Tennessee leads Mississippi State 20-7. Michael Van Buren, the true freshman, having to play quarterback for Mississippi State since Blake Shapen was injured earlier this year. He's struggling as expected. Dylan Sampson, the leading rusher for Tennessee and overall leading rusher in the conference, left the game with an injury late in the second period. No word on his return. Volunteers comfortably on top 20-7 in the third quarter in Knoxville. Again, they will play Georgia next week. It's a top 15 battle in Baton Rouge where the rain is falling hard, and so is the LSU defense. Number 11, Alabama, running all over LSU to this point. They're late in the second quarter with the Crimson Tide on top of the Bayou Bengals, 21-6. Neither team finding much offense in Columbia, Missouri. 24th-ranked Tigers hosting Oklahoma. Sooners lead 9-3 in a real defensive slugfest back and forth in that matchup. Moving back to college basketball, some top 25 action outside the SEC, and there's not much of it. Only 2 teams outside of the SEC in the top 25 in action today. Number 3, UConn leads New Hampshire. About 3 minutes gone by in the second half there, and the Huskies lead 43-30. Earlier today, it was 10th-ranked Arizona beating up on Old Dominion 102-44. Outside the SEC in college football today, one major upset as Georgia Tech dealt Miami its first loss of the season. Miami had come from 10 points down 3 separate times this year to win games, but they walked that tightrope one too many times. Georgia Tech defensively able to shut down Miami and get the win on the flats, 28-23. Georgia Tech now 6-4 on the year. As we said, 4th-ranked Miami suffered its first loss of the season. A couple of teams that did not suffer their first losses of the year. Number 8, Indiana moves to 10-0, holding off a late rally by Michigan. Hoosiers get the job done 20-15 in Bloomington. Also, number 25, Army is now 9-0. They grind it out in Denton, Texas to beat North Texas today, 14-3. Number 20, Colorado takes an inside track to a Big 12 championship. Buffaloes come from behind to beat Texas Tech 41-27. Red Raiders went on top 13-0 after the first quarter, but the Buffaloes scored double digits in the second, the third, and the fourth periods to storm back and get the 2-touchdown win. Number 17, Iowa State falls in Big 12 play. They go to Lawrence, and Kansas beats up on the Cyclones 45-36. Also, number 2, Ohio State shut out Purdue 45-0. Some games that are in progress now. Number 6, Penn State shutting out Washington. It's 21-0 Nittany Lions late in the first half in Happy Valley. 12th-ranked Boise State is tied with Nevada in Mountain West action. They're late in the first half on the blue turf. 14-14 the score. Ashton Jeanty, the running back, already 14 carries, 106 yards, and a score in a rare prime-time exhibition for the Broncos. Also in the ACC, number 18, Pittsburgh at 7-1, leads Virginia as they play late in the first half in Pittsburgh, 10-7. Still to come, number 21, Washington State at 7-1, plays host to Utah State. And then it's the Holy War in Salt Lake City with number 9, BYU, taking on Utah. That's a game that'll start in just about an hour. We are getting you set for Auburn and Houston tonight from the Toyota Center, the home of Jabari Smith and company. And we've still got plenty to come on the CB&S Bank countdown to tip-off, including our 60-second scout with Stephen Pearl tonight, our exclusive pregame sit-down with head coach Bruce Pearl. We'll give you Coach Randall Dickey's keys to the game, your starting lineups, and then we'll get things going in a while. It's still going to be a little while. So Florida State is now leading Rice 68-55. Under 2 minutes to go in the first game at the Toyota Center. Once they'll put 20 minutes on the clock. Auburn and Houston will come out, and they'll go through their warm-ups, and then we'll be ready about 20 minutes after the conclusion of Florida State and Rice. And the Seminoles lead the Owls 68-55, a minute 47 to go in that game. What's on the menu is brought to you by Whataburger. PTA night, Boring Company meeting, or the annual reunion of Gulf Coast crochet enthusiasts. What do all these get-togethers have in common? They could be boneless wing parties. Just invite the all-new Whata Wings Party Pack from Whataburger. Order online today. Get 72 tender bites, a family fry box, and your choice of sauce. What's on the menu? Presented by Whataburger. It's an expanded menu tonight as we wait for tip-off between the Tigers and the Cougars. When we come back, we'll tell you a little more about Kelvin Sampson's bunch. That's when the CB&S Bank countdown to tip-off continues in a moment.
CB&S Bank has a long history of stability and a legacy of serving our community's needs for generations. You could say we know a thing or two about tradition. We've been family, community, and financially strong since we began in 1906. Being a team player is part of our culture. That's why at CB&S Bank, we are proud supporters and huge fans of Auburn basketball. Whoa, Regal, hey! Visit cbsbank.com today. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
It's a great day to get vaccinated. Many children and adults that delayed vaccination during the pandemic are still behind schedule. It is crucial that we take the steps to get everyone back on track with their routine immunizations. Children and teens can still catch up on their vaccinations even if they start late. Make sure you and your family are up to date on all recommended vaccines, including respiratory virus vaccine. Let's all do our part to get back on track. Don't wait. Vaccinate. For more information, visit alabamapublichealth.gov/IMM.
Yellowwood knows that a 5-star backyard is the place to make lasting memories. Like roasting marshmallows on a cool fall night. That's it. Turn it nice and slow. Get it toasted all... Oh, no, it's on fire. Oh, you want it on fire. Okay, that's a choice, I guess. Crunchy. For 5-star backyards and the most memorable experiences, Yellowwood brand pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't have that yellow tag, you don't want it.
Kia of Auburn is happy to connect the Kia brand to the Auburn fans. Our winning lineup has something for everyone at almost any budget. SUVs like the Telluride, Sorrento, and Sportage. You prefer a sedan? Check out Forte, Soul, and don't forget our new multi-purpose vehicles, the Carnival, or our amazing hybrid or electric vehicles. Kia of Auburn is a proud supporter of Auburn Athletics. Kia of Auburn, where you're always number one. Whoa, Regal.
You're listening to Auburn basketball. Now more of the CB&S Bank countdown to tip-off.
We are getting ready for Auburn and Houston, a game that is still more than 20 minutes away from tip-off as we await the conclusion of the game before hours tonight at the Toyota Center. A minute 26 to go. Florida State leads Rice 69-59. Again, when that game is over, they will put 20 minutes on the clock, and then the Tigers and Cougars will take the floor. They'll go into their pregame warm-ups, and then from there, or about 20 minutes after that, we'll be ready for basketball. So we'll keep you company. Until then, thanks for hanging out with us on an Auburn Sports Network affiliate near you. A reminder, you can also watch the broadcasts take place tonight. Andy Burcham, Randall Dickey, courtside at the Toyota Center on the Auburn Tigers YouTube channel. Andy's giving you a wave right there. And we know that folks are tuning in from Auburn, Montgomery, all the way to the central coast of California. We have folks watching on the Auburn Tigers YouTube channel. So we invite you to participate in that. Let's get the pregame report, which is presented by East Alabama Health. There are no injuries to speak of tonight, and that is your pregame medical report presented by East Alabama Health. Their team of first responders are proud to provide first aid care at Neville Arena for home basketball games and really every Auburn Athletics home event, and we appreciate the partnership with East Alabama Health. Well, let's talk about this Houston Cougars team a little bit, a team that was picked to finish second in the Big 12 behind Kansas. Last season, Cougars won the regular season title in what was their first year in the Big 12. They are the only team in the country that's finished in the top 5 in KenPom ratings 4 straight years. Houston's finished in the top 18 7 straight years with Kelvin Sampson at the helm. Bruce Pearl and Kelvin Sampson, by the way, in their coaching careers, they've combined to win 1,428 games. These guys know what they're doing, and Houston can score, but they've really built their toughness and tenacity around their defensive play. Cougars have finished with a top 20 scoring defense for 7 straight years. They've also been in the top 3 in each of the last 4 seasons with the top scoring defense in the country last year. Houston's won at least 21 games the last 9 years. In that stretch, they've won 32 games 4 times in the last 6 seasons. Some of the individual players, they've got Jawan Roberts. He played against Auburn a couple of years ago in the SEC tournament game. He had 6 points, 7 rebounds, 5 blocks, 2 assists in that game that Auburn led at the half, and then Houston kind of took over in the second half. Roberts, along with L.J. Cryer, who Andy and Coach Dickey talked about in the first segment, they were both picked as preseason All Big 12 first-team selections. Houston, the only team in the Big 12 Conference with 2 first-team selections. Let's hear a little more about the Cougars in our 60-second scout. This is Auburn assistant Stephen Pearl.
And by all the analytical metrics, Ken Palm, T-Rank, this is the number one team in the country that we're playing tonight. So, that's how we're approaching it. This team returns 8 guys from a Sweet 16 team last year, bring a really good transfer from Oklahoma at point guard in, and some really young, hungry freshmen. So, they're healthy. Last year they were banged up a little bit, and all those guys are back healthy. And, obviously they have their sights set on having a really good year. For us defensively, we've got to do what we do. We have to turn them over, make everything really difficult. I feel like we can guard their actions, but they're the best offensive rebounding team in the country. So, it doesn't get started until a shot goes up. And you remember 2 years ago, we gave up like 17 offensive rebounds, and I thought we played pretty hard and we did a pretty good job of keeping them off the glass, and we still gave up 17. So got to do a good job there. And then offensively, everything's going to be really hard tonight. So they do a great job in their ball screen defense. They really loads the ball. Their bigs are really athletic. They're all like Dylan out there, just guarding and moving around, blocking shots, and, creating havoc. So got to do a good job of not turning the ball over and making open shots and keeping them off the offensive glass.
That 60-second scout from Stephen Pearl, that's presented by the Raymond J. Harbert College of Business, home to 7 top 25 programs in the U.S. News and World Report rankings. Harbert, inspiring business. Houston won its opener against Jackson State 97-40, a similar type of game to Auburn's win over Vermont. In that game, the Cougars shot 58% from the floor. They were 12 of 20 from 3. So 60% from long range and just 7 of 7 at the free throw line. They won the rebounding battle by 14. Really an overmatched opponent, but they played like it and didn't let up. I mean, they led the game 52-13 at halftime, and then outscored Jackson State in the second half 45-27, and they just did it with smothering defense throughout. Jackson State got 10 of 20 points. They were only 17% from long range, 4 for 23, and shot just 27%, or just a little over 27% for the game, 13 for 47. So Houston got 20 more shots than Jackson State and made 26 more shots than their opponents in the opening contest. So really an impressive and similar type of game for Houston in their opener to what Auburn had against Vermont in their opener the other night at Neville Arena. Just to kind of remind you the way that game played out. The Tigers came out absolutely on fire, led the game 46-21 at the half, and then Miles Kelly hit 5 of his 7 threes in the second half. They just never let up and continued wave after wave of talent and speed and intensity. And that was a game that Bruce Pearl said before the contest, you're almost forced to play at Vermont's pace. Well, Auburn was able to speed up the Catamounts en route to the very easy victory at Neville Arena. Different situation tonight. Eyes of the nation watching this one between Auburn and Houston. Again, it's in the Ken Palm ratings. It's number 1 versus number 2. In the AP poll, it's number 4 versus number 11. It's the first of 4, at least, games against AP top 15 teams that Auburn will play this year. That number could be as many as 6, depending on who the Tigers play in the Maui Invitational here in a couple of weeks. So the tests are coming fast and furious for this Auburn team. We are watching what's happening at the Toyota Center. They are still playing basketball there. Florida State is trying to finish off Rice. There's 14 seconds to go in that game. Seminoles lead the Owls 71-63. As soon as this game is over, then they will put 20 minutes on the clock, and the Tigers will the Tigers and Cougars both will take the floor and go through their pregame warm-ups. 8th time in program history that Auburn plays a top 4 team in the regular season in a non-conference game. Auburn is looking for its first win in one of those games. This is the 4th time under Coach Bruce Pearl that Auburn has played a top 4 team in a non-conference game. Overall, Auburn 22-30 against ranked teams in the Bruce Pearl era. And speaking of the Bruce Pearl era, we've got BPE and Andy Burcham coming up right after this timeout. Our exclusive sit-down with the head coach of the Tigers, yours after these words from your local stations. This is the Auburn Sports Network.
Hey, Tiger fans. Last year, you helped Auburn women's basketball break attendance records in Neville Arena. Be sure to join Coach Jay and the Tigers this season. Limited reserve seating options for season tickets are on sale now. The package includes home games against Ole Miss, Texas, Texas A&M, and Mississippi State. For more information or to purchase season tickets, visit aubtix.com. Thank you for supporting Auburn women's basketball, and see you this season in Neville Arena. War Eagle.
When the game is on the line, you want someone you can count on. At Alabama Power, we believe in consistency and having each other's back. It's our game plan to safely deliver the electricity you depend on. We give 100% to achieve 99.9% reliability. Learn how we power a better Alabama at alabamapower.com/reliable. Alabama Power is a proud supporter of the Auburn Tigers.
Yellowwood knows that a 5-star backyard is the place to make lasting memories. Like cookouts. Cornhole with friends. Ooh, a neighborhood potluck with your wife's pasta salad. The one with the feta. Oh, sorry. Or taking a nap on your deck in a hammock. Naps are memories. I love naps. For 5-star backyards and the most memorable experiences, Yellow brand pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't have that yellow tag, you don't want it.
Wada Wings from Whataburger are tossed in honey butter, honey barbecue, sweet and spicy buffalo, and now for a limited time, try our new Nashville hot sauce. Now, we know some people are going to say these premium chicken tender bites are not real wings. And to that we say, so what? It's okay to be deliciously incorrect. Butterflies aren't made of butter, French fries are not from France, and your daddy's famous pork butt, not actually butt. Boneless Wada Wings from Whataburger. Get them Nashville hot for a limited time, no matter what you call them.
Wada Wings. Wada Wings. Whataburger, Wada Wings. Wada Wings. Ford presents our exclusive pre-game visit with head coach Bruce Pearl.
Family on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Visit your local Ford dealer, proud sponsor of the Auburn Tigers. Here's Andy Burcham with Coach Pearl.
Coach, folks probably have heard about the incident while traveling yesterday. Do you have a comment at this point?
You know, Andy, it's an unfortunate situation. You know, we're dealing with it head on, but I'm really not going to comment on it any further tonight.
This Houston team is the first game away from Neville Arena, part of just a tough non-conference schedule. And you look at these two teams, and boy, there's some similarities. Both teams won big in their opening game, shot very well. Both teams play good physical defense. Your thoughts as you get ready for this one tonight?
You know, Andy, I look at this game tonight, and with the exception of maybe at Cameron Indoor or maybe at Alabama, a tough road game or something like that, this will be as tough a test as we're going to have. The good news is we have 2,500 Auburn people down here tonight, which is just amazing. Just lucked out that football's on a bye weekend. We're going to have a great turnout. So that gives us a fighting chance from a standpoint of it's not like we're playing in their level arena. You know, this, I think, is the best offensive team that Houston's had in a long time. I mean, we're looking at a program playing Houston like that. Last year was their first year in the Big 12, and they won it. I mean, Kansas always wins the Big 12. Well, now that Houston's in there, it's a different animal. This could be the best team Houston's had in Calvin Sampson's career, because I do think they're the best offensive team, especially when they shoot the basketball. They're always good defensively. They always play hard. So I think, you know, can we make them make tough twos, and can we limit their three balls and keep them off the boards? Ultimately, that's the whole thing. Whoever wins the battle of rebounding is going to win the game.
You look at these two head coaches, yourself and Coach Sampson, you're both in your 11th years, have both rebuilt programs into great success. I mean, both of you guys have done that and deep in your careers as well.
Well, you know, Calvin has done it as well as anybody. He's done it for a long, long time. I've known Calvin for over 30 years. He's won every place he's been. His teams have got a chemistry, and they've got a culture, and they've got sort of a personality to them. And it obviously comes from his head coach. They do. The question is our pressure going to bother them, or is it going to open up the floor and make for some easy baskets? And are we going to have to back off a little bit and build a wall and keep them in front? But, you know, I think both teams have got great cultures. They graduate guys. Mm-hmm. We graduate guys. Both teams are older. And, you know, I'd like to think that, you know, when you say something about Calvin Sampson, they do it the right way. And I hope they feel the same way about my teams.
You look at his teams, and you know you're always going to get a very good defensive team, and they're going to be physical. tonight? How do you think your ball club responds to a physical defensive team tonight?
Well, I mean, our physical players are responding well. I think the officials are going to let them play, and since that it'll be a hard game to officiate. But I want our guys to be able to play through the contact and be able to but be able to guard physically themselves. So I think it'll be like an SEC. It'll be an SEC battle, but it's just in November, which is really unusual. And when you play this good a team this early, man, you got to do so many things to get ready. Last year, Andy, they really hurt us on our under basket OB defense. We try and press on the under OB. We try to get turnovers to try to bother them. Sometimes they created some mismatches and took advantage of the mismatches. And so I hope we can perform well on our under OB defense. That could be a factor for us as well.
They had 17 offensive rebounds in that game in the NCAA tournament. What's the key to keeping a team like this off the offensive glass?
It's just manning up, just obviously manning up, and they're going to hit, and they're going to run right through you, and they're going to throw you out of the way, and they're going to, be really, really handsy, and it's just about, fighting for every ball and every loose ball and so on and so forth. If you don't hit first, you don't hold your check out, and they're the best at it. So we have a lot of really good, like Texas A&M, for example, a really good offensive rebounding team in our league. They beat Texas A&M by 15. It was more like a 20-point spread, and they out-rebounded by over a dozen. So, we just got to step up, be physical, and value the possession. But what a great test for us this early, in the sense that they're number one in the country in KenPom. You couldn't possibly get a better, matchup from a standpoint of us having a chance to improve our resume, and also get exposed this early in the year. Okay, here's what we're good at. And here's the things we got to work on.
They're number one. You're number two in KenPom. Should be a great matchup tonight. Wish you all the best. War Eagle.
Well, you know what they say. There's that isn't that some kind of a rental car commercial? Number two's got to work harder.
War Eagle.
War Eagle.
Welcome back to the Ford F-Series Highlight Show. I've seen a lot of basketball, and I can tell you that to stay on top, you got to adapt, stay focused, and innovate. That's what wins championships. That's how Ford F-150 and the Ford Super Duty stay at the top of the truck game. For 47 consecutive years, Ford F-Series has been America's #1 selling truck because they deliver what you need to win the day. For the latest offers, go to buyfordnow.com or see your local Ford dealer today. Tell them Coach Pearl sent you.
Based on 1977 to 2023 CY industry reported total sales.
Things we take for granted, ordinary opportunities for parents and their children, can be a foster child's extraordinary. You have the power to do something positive that will change the life of a young person right here in Alabama. Open your heart and open your home to a foster child today. For more information, visit www.dhr.alabama.gov or call 1-866-64-AL-KIDS. Brought to you by the Alabama Department of Human Resources, the Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Hey, parents and kids, it's a perfect time for students to read their way to the Iron Bowl in AEA's Be a Champion and Read contest. AEA wants to help K-6 students be academic champions, just like the Auburn Tigers. Students who participate in the Be a Champion and Read challenge could win 3 tickets to the Iron Bowl and a chance to take the field on game day. Ask your teacher about contest rules. Encourage your child to be an AEA champion reader and win a trip to the 2024 Iron Bowl.
Thinking of advancing your career with a master's degree in business? If so, consider the graduate degree choices at Auburn University's Harbert College of Business. Ranked among the nation's best, we offer full-time and online programs in finance, supply chain management, information systems, accounting, and business administration. Learn more at harbert.auburn.edu.
You're listening to Auburn basketball. Now more of the CB&S Bank countdown to tip-off.
Getting you ready for Auburn and Houston tonight from the Toyota Center. Florida State and Rice finally finished up. Seminoles beat the Owls 73-65, so that countdown clock is on, and we are, 20-ish minutes, maybe 17 or so away from tip-off tonight between the Tigers and Cougars. Let's go back to the Toyota Center now. Coach Randall Dickey, come on back with us for Coach's Keys to the Game. Those are presented by Kia of Auburn, where you're always number one. Both teams, Coach, want to play a suffocating style of defense. Where does that start? Is that an inside-out game, or does that start on the perimeter with defending the Houston guards?
Well, it starts right at the midcourt line when you pick them up, put great pressure You have a lot of passing lane pressure. You have arms, active hands in the passing lane, but it really comes to fruition when you get into the ball screen action, the screen down actions, the cross screens from one side of the paint to the other, and around that pinch post area at the corner of the free throw line. It's going to be a tough area. Be a lot of traffic between the Tigers and the Cougars there tonight.
Auburn pressed Vermont and pressed Vermont successfully. It really bothered the Catamounts. This is a different team, obviously, in Houston. Can Auburn press? Do you expect Auburn to press in the backcourt?
I certainly do, and I think that's a big, big key right off the bat. My number one key for Auburn to win, we must establish a tempo very similar to what we did against Vermont, but we're playing on the road, kind of at a neutral site, even though we're in the city of Houston playing at the Toyota Center. I think Auburn establishes a tempo by controlling the defensive glass. If you limit the number of offensive putbacks and the offensive live ball that they keep tipping around, I think if we get those off the defensive glass, get into our offensive running game, I think that's a big key. But I also think guard play is going to be really important as well. L.J. Cryer is a terrific guard. He's got a really one of the best guards in the country. It's going to be a big challenge. The Tigers need to step up for that. But one thing they did the other night, they snuffed Vermont Catamounts more and much better than what we thought going in. Maybe it'll happen again tonight.
It's a Vermont team that didn't give up a three-point basket to UAB, and then Auburn came in and hit 16 of them. This is a Houston team that limited Jackson State to just 3 3-point field goals. What was Auburn able to do? Now, sometimes, look, a guy just comes down and he pulls from long range and takes the shot. But in terms of ball movement, running the offense, what are the keys to making that happen in a smooth fashion and getting guys good looks from three? Not just looks from three, but good looks from three.
Well, I think traditionally Coach Pearl's teams have always prided themselves on playing great defense and turn it into offense. Anytime you get into the broken floor, you have the athletes that the Tigers have. They get in, they spread wide, run the lanes hard. They open up the middle for the bigs to run, throw the ball inside, and it just opens up. Once the defense collapses, you can fan it out to the perimeter and take open threes. But I think the biggest thing is for the Tigers to play great defense, turn it into their offense, play their type of tempo, and I think that'll give Houston some trouble. But I also really believe the Tigers are going to establish a pressing game, a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more full court against Houston right off the bat to try and see kind of how Houston's going to handle that. Can they extend the half court 1 to 2 steps on the perimeter, very much like they did Vermont? They took Vermont from around the 3-point line is where they like to run their offense. Auburn took them about 2 giant steps away from the 3-point line, increased the distance away from the basket, makes all the difference in the world. Hopefully we can do that again against Houston, and it's going to see that. But one thing Houston will do, have better ball handlers, better athletes. We must contain the basketball because when you spread out, it opens up passing lanes. It opens up, the biggest thing is driving lanes, and you must contain the basketball and eliminate fouling on those plays.
Auburn turned Vermont over more Wednesday night than the Catamounts turned it over in any game all last season. Houston forced 21 Jackson State turnovers. The way both these teams want to play, you never want a game to be about the officials, but how a game is officiated could be worth talking about in that both teams want to play physical, and if we've got quick whistles tonight, that doesn't play into either team's hands.
Well, we hope that it's a little bit more free-flowing. We hope they allow the guys, and I think we are all for protecting the guys when they shoot the basketball and around the basket. If the guys kind of rub shoulders against each other and kind of make a little contact there, I think you kind of let some of those things to go. I think you always pride yourself in protecting the ball handlers and the shooters. Allow a lot of other things to get going because basketball is a game of movement. It is a game of mistakes, and sometimes physical play create those mistakes, which gives the other team advantage. So I think that you're exactly right. We're kind of not. I guess we're a little bit more anxious to see how the tempo of the officiating sets the tone for both teams.
I know we're closing in on the national anthem there in Houston, but before we get there, they're doing it now, as a matter of fact. So, Coach, we'll thank you very much. We'll look forward to your call with the voice of the Tigers, Andy Burcham, coming up in just a little bit. We are zeroing in on the opening tip, finally, between 11th-ranked Auburn and 4th-ranked Houston. It is the game of the day in college basketball, and we've got it for you coming up after these words from your local stations. We'll give you the starting lineups, and then a few minutes from now, the opening tip. It's Tigers, it's Cougars, it's yours next. This is the Auburn Sports Network.
WZOB is your #1 country station, serving the Fort Payne, DeKalb County area since 1950 with the best country music and community programming. We're the home of
Swap Shop, you're on the air,
Fort Payne Wildcat Sports, and your local Auburn sports affiliate. And we'll even start your day with a wisdom from the good book. Just set your dial to 100.9 FM, 1250 AM, or catch us online at WZOBradio.com. WZOB, #1 country.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Listen closely. Hear those bubbles? That mouth-watering waterfall? Delicious. Ice cold. And zero sugar. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Hi, this is Coach Hugh Freeze. Tackle game day with the irresistible taste of Coke Zero Sugar. Is it the best Coke ever? Try and decide. War Eagle.
The Southeastern Conference. It's the land of legends, the places, the faces, and moments.
And he's going for it. It's a touchdown!
We've seen the confetti fall again and again. But we're not done. It's time for the next generation to make their mark and go from 14 deep to 16 strong. It's a whole new ball game in the SEC, and it just means more.
CB&S Bank has a long history of stability and a legacy of serving our community's needs for generations. You could say we know a thing or two about tradition. We've been family, community, and financially strong since we began in 1906. Being a team player is part of our culture. That's why at CB&S Bank, we are proud supporters and huge fans of Auburn basketball. Whoa, Regal, hey! Visit cbsbank.com today. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
We're counting down to the opening tip. Time to introduce the starting five.
McGee's running the show for Auburn. Right-hand dribble. JP, long three. Yes!
That's a serious splash from that feet.
Leaves for Pegues. Another long three. Yes! It rattled in.
Indeed. What a shot by JP Pegues.
JP Pegues, Nashville, Tennessee, Hillsborough High School.
Left wing at Denver goes baseline to the basket. Yes! Top of the circle. Denver, long three. Good!
Deep three.
Up the left sideline, Denver. Another three ball. Yes! Holy cow!
Denver Jones, Newmarket, Alabama, Memphis Day Academy.
Into the lane, out to the top, right wing, Chad Baker-Mazzara, the three-point makeup. Chad Baker-Mazzara, another three ball. Yes.
He's on fire,
Buddy, is he ever.
Chad Baker-Mazzara, Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, Colonia High School.
Top of the circle, Broom. He'll pop a three. Yep.
Looks good when he gets his feet set. That right foot hits the floor just right. He can really shoot the three.
Inbound knocked away by Broom. Has a breakaway to the hole. Jams it.
What a play by Janai Broom.
Janai Broom, Plant City, Florida, Tampa Catholic High School.
Down the right sideline, Chad. Lob. Cardwell. Don't. Low post. Cardwell. To the hole with a double hand stop. Bounce pass. Dylan for three. Why not? Why not?
Dylan Cardwell, Augusta, Georgia, McEachern High School.
The starting lineups have been presented by Great Southern Wood, makers of Yellowwood brand pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't have that yellow tag, you don't want it.
Auburn, number 11 in the country in both the AP and the coaches polls, number 2 in the Ken Pom poll, 1-0 on the season. Bruce Pearl in his 11th season at Auburn, a record of 201 and 119 in his 30th season. Overall, his record is 663 and 264. Like Auburn, Houston is 1-0 after a 97-40 win against Jackson State. ranked number 4 in both the AP and the coaches polls, and number 1 in the Ken Palm poll. Kelvin Sampson is in his 11th season at Houston, a record of 265 and 79 in his 35th season overall, a record of 765 and 349, and Auburn making its way onto the floor here at the Toyota Center. Here is the starting lineup for the Houston Cougars. Milos Uzan at the point, 6'4", 190-pound junior from Las Vegas and Desert Pines High School, a transfer from Oklahoma. 8 points, 7 rebounds, 10 assists for Uzan. On one wing, outstanding shooting guard L.J. Cryer, 6'1", 200-pound grad student from Katy, Texas, Morgan Ranch High School, transferred in from Baylor. 16 points, a rebound, 3 assists. Emmanuel Sharp on the other wing, 6'3", redshirt junior out of Tampa, Florida, Bishop McLaughlin Catholic High School, 210 pounds, 7 points, and a rebound. On the inside, Javier Francis, 6'8", senior from New Orleans, Louisiana, 235 pounds, played at Monteverde Academy in Florida. No points, no rebounds in the win over Jackson State, but he is getting the start tonight. And Juwan Roberts, a 6'8", 235-pound grad student from St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands, played his high school basketball at Shoemaker High School in Killeen, Texas. 14 points, 6 rebounds. He had 6 points and 7 rebounds against Auburn 2 years ago in the NCAA tournament. Roberts, for Houston playing at home at the Fertitta Center, is 118-19 as a Houston Cougar, and at home 63-2. It's the best record in Houston history for home games for the Houston Cougars. The officials tonight, Terry Oglesby, who had Auburn's game on Wednesday night against Vermont, Greg Nixon, and Michael Greenstein. Auburn in the away blue uniforms, tops and bottoms, with the orange numerals and lettering and the white trim. And Houston in the home white uniforms, tops and bottoms, with the red numerals and the trim. All right, this has been a long time coming. Literally a long time coming here tonight. First game tonight in this two-game series. Found Florida State holding on to beat Rice 73-65. This will be a very physical basketball game for Auburn. It is one of these proving grounds for the Tigers. I mean, Houston number 4 in the country, Auburn number 11 in the country. This is one of those ball games where you find out a little bit about your ball club here tonight.
I think it's so important for us to establish ourselves early. The fives are really important in a game. The first 5 minutes of the first half, the first 5 minutes of the second half, and certainly the last 5 minutes of the game. Those 15 minutes are crucial. Now, the last 5 minutes of the first half is always good. Sometimes when you're trailing and you make a run, you cut the thing to, single digits or a 1 or 2 point deficit going into halftime is a momentum swing there. But I think that the 15 minutes, in my mind, is so important. The first 5 at the start of the game, first 5 of the second half, and certainly the last 5 down the stretch.
And if you get punched in the mouth, you kind of be prepared for that kind of game tonight. Metaphorically, it's going to be physical, especially when it gets on the inside tonight. And watching the scout today, one of the points of emphasis was, listen, guys, when we get the ball offensively on the low post, they're collapsing on you. Don't put it on the floor. Don't put it down, because they're going to come after. They're going to be ripping after that ball.
And we haven't seen a great deal of that in a while. The quick double teams on the block, when it goes to Broom or Cardwell on the low post, Houston's going to send 2 players down there and double team the ball. How well we cut to the basket, how well we move away from the ball, how well we open up windows across court to fan the ball across, to get open threes. If we execute that play right, both of our players are skilled, both of our players understand that, but the timing is so important to get 3-point shots off that.
You can add another of the NBA arenas to Auburn's resume. Of course, Auburn plays every year at State Farm Arena in Atlanta. We'll play Ohio State there next month. Of course, played last year at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, second time that the Tigers had played there, 4-0 in that tournament. And now we add the brand new, relatively new Toyota Center here in Houston. Beautiful facility and a big crowd, much bigger in this game than that first game between Florida State and Rice. And most notably tonight for Auburn, some 2,500 Auburn fans on an open weekend for football making their way to Houston for this one tonight.
Well, we can already feel the energy in the building. And like you said, the Toyota Center is a wonderful place. The lower bowl is a little bit larger than some of the NBA arenas that we've been in. The fans are relatively close to the court. It's going to be loud. The Cougars are certainly in force here, but we've got lots of Auburn Tigers in the stands.
It won't be the last time that Auburn will face a top 5 team, a top 10 team, a top 15 team away from Neville Arena tonight. Just got to get used to it, because every time Auburn leaves Neville Arena in the non-conference season, they're going to be facing a top 25 team.
Well, I think it's something that Coach Pearl has worked really hard, he and his staff, to establish a program that is precedented nationally, that you take a back seat to no one, that you could play anybody, anywhere, at any level, especially the ultra level, because the ultimate goal is to prepare yourself, get to March Madness, and make a deep run.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Auburn Sports Network. Along with Randall Dickey, Brad Law, I'm Andy Burcham. Glad to be with you tonight. The Houston starting lineups just being announced. This is a partisan Houston crowd, as you would guess. This game being played tonight in Houston. And it's going to be interesting to see how Auburn handles not only this atmosphere tonight, but most importantly, how it handles one of the top 5 teams, the number 4 team, as a matter of fact, in the country in this Houston Cougars ball club. And it is the personality of its head coach. Tough, physical, they play extraordinarily well. And boy, this backcourt of Cryer, Uzan, and Sharp, as good as Auburn is going to face inside or outside the Southeastern Conference this season, Randall.
Well, I think you take the positive approach for the Tigers. I think we come out, get light on our feet, be aggressive early, play our game, go forward, play like you're the best player on the floor, share the basketball, play enthusiastic, and really enjoy the environment, really enjoy the competition, and see what happens.
All right, again, the officials tonight, Terry Oglesby, Greg Nixon, and Michael Greenstein. This game is going to start at least a half hour later than anticipated here tonight because of that first game between Florida State and Rice. Or perhaps they should just schedule these games 2 hours apart or 3 hours apart rather than 2.5 hours apart. But they don't ask the radio crews, do they?
No.
We're glad to be with you tonight. We are courtside at Toyota Center for this one tonight between Auburn and Houston. J.P. Pegues, Denver Jones, Chad Baker-Mazzara on the Auburn perimeter with Dylan Cardwell, Janai Broom on the inside here tonight. Along with Randall Dickey, Brad Law, I'm Andy Burcham. How does Auburn handle this tonight as it faces Houston? Very good on the perimeter, very good on the inside. There is not a weakness that you see really in either team right now, Randall.
No, that's true. And just by looking at the players go on the floor, I think they match up very well. Our bodies are just as good as Houston's. We've got a little bit bigger size. We're starting a big lineup. You got Cardwell at the 5. You'll play Janai Broom there, but he's starting at the 4 tonight. But guard play, you have a lot of experience. Denver Jones, you've got Chad Baker-Mazzara. The biggest thing is how well Pegues handles the pressure that Houston's going to put on him at the point.
Auburn wins the opening tap. Denver Jones runs it down before it goes out of bounds. Tigers to the basket tour. Right, we're underway in Houston.
Houston starts in a tough man-to-man, up heavy on ball pressure and up in the passing lanes.
Top of the circle is Janai Broom, goes to the left wing, reverses to the top, Cardwell. Now Pegues right side of the key. 14 to shoot for Auburn. Pegues backs up in the center circle. Down to 10 on the shot clock. Pegues one-on-one against Milos Uzan. Gets a screen from Cardwell. Free throw line, picks it up. Out to the top for Broom. Janai puts up a 3-ball, air ball, and Houston gets the ball.
I think that's where you see Houston establish their defense. Auburn ran 2 different plays during that 30-second time. They shut down the first initial wave. We could not create an open shot and actually had to take a forced at the buzzer.
Auburn presses off the inbound, and the pass off the left side for Emmanuel Sharp. Now back to Uzan, who will bring the ball up the floor for Houston. No score, Houston's first offensive possession, picked up by Denver Jones just across midcourt. To the right wing, crossover dribble twice, pulls up with the left hand, top of the circle for Sharp. Emmanuel Sharp on the left hand dribble, physical guard, shot clock at 11. forces his way top of the circle. Goodness gracious. A blocking foul at the top of the key by Chad Baker-Mazzara.
If they
call the game that way, we're going to be here till midnight.
Well, Auburn established themselves just like Houston did. Defensively, were tough, really was snuffing them, and just the official just kind of bailed them out there on the drive.
Sharp on the right wing, 13 to shoot. Picks up the dribble. Bounce pass, top of the circle. Roberts loses the ball. It's still loose. Roberts gets it back. Kicks it right side for Sharp. Shot clock at 5. Sharp, top of the circle, double team. Ball knocked out of his hand. Auburn ball.
Terrific defense by the Tigers. The pressure really affected Houston and how they ran their offense then. Both teams cannot score because the defense will not let them.
McGee's across midcourt for Auburn. No score. 18:44 in the first. Cardwell, left side of the key. Back to the top for Pegues. Shot clock at 21. Left wing, Chad Baker-Mazzara. Pulls up near the corner. Back out to the wing for JP. 15 to shoot, long three. No. Long rebound pulled in by Javier Francis. Brings it up the floor on the left-hand dribble. Francis, left side of the circle. Free throw line, down the lane. Francis up on the left hand. Good.
He's a really good player. He's got a good spin move, a nice little left jump hook right over the top of Broom.
18-10 to go in the first half of play. Top of the circle, Chad Baker-Mazzara. Low post, Cardwell. Dillon kicks it to the corner, to the wing. Broom, a three ball. No, hit it high off the glass. And the rebound comes to Roberts.
Dillon needs to go ahead and take that shot. He's point blank right at the basket. He fanned it out for a quick three, but they closed out, and Broom had to kind of force his shot up.
Cryer out the left wing. 2-0 Houston lead, 17:45 in the first half. Cryer double team, kicks it out to the top for Sharp. Near midcourt. Shot clock at 11. Sharp on the right wing, picks up the dribble. Kicks it down the right side for Uzan. Picked up there by Denver Jones. Uzan with 4 to shoot to the baseline. Picks it up. Nope, he walked.
The defense is sensational by the Tigers. One thing we have to do now offensively, Andy, settle in. Let's set better screens. Let's get some shooters open and execute our offense just a little bit better than we have the first 3 possessions.
17:28, first half of play. Auburn trails Houston 2-0. Auburn basketball, Chad Baker-Mazzara. Top of the circle for Broom. Janai, couple dribbles, leaves for Denver Jones. Drives down the lane. Denver lost it, whistle foul. Let's see who they get the foul on here.
That should be Uzan, I think.
It is Cryer. They got L.J. Cryer.
We'll take that.
Absolutely. All right, Joseph Tugler into the game. He started at the 4 for Houston on Monday. A 6'8" redshirt sophomore from Monroe, Louisiana.
He's a real bouncy 6'8", 235.
Low post pass, kicked out of there, trying to feed Broom, and it was knocked away. Here's Sharp the other way for Houston. Sharp down the lane, reach in foul. The shot is no good. It's not allowed, and the foul will go against Chad Baker-Mazzara, and that's his second. That's the second foul on CBM, and he will come out. Here comes Shane Johnson to the lineup for Auburn.
This is a game you cannot play with your hands defensively. You must move your feet and use your hands for strength. Chad Baker kind of reached in back to back.
He will come out. So will Dylan Cardwell as Chaney Johnson and Miles Kelly come in.
Now this is a good strategic move by the coaches. Let's see how as our rotation over a course of the first half affects Houston.
17:07 in the first. Houston leads 2-0. Houston ball. Uzan goes baseline left, maintains the dribble, loops back out to the left wing. Into the lane it goes for Roberts. He puts it up and in.
They've got a good high-low action. Ugler has been an impact. Even though he didn't score then, he made a deflection, but he made a great screen offensively.
4-0 Houston. 16:45 in the first. Miles Kelly at the right wing. Top of the circle, Chaney Johnson. Johnson up the left side for Denver Jones running the point for Auburn right now. With J.P. Pegues on the wing and a whistle and a blocking foul on Cryer, who just picked up his second foul. 2 fouls on Cryer, their leading scorer.
There's one thing the officials have established themselves. They are going to protect ball handlers.
And out on the perimeter.
One thing that the Tigers are doing very well, they're taking the ball from one side of the floor to the other, but we've got to get a little bit closer to the basket with our offense. They've got us pushed out about 2 giant steps outside the three-point line, which really increases the distance away from the basket.
Tahad Pettifor checks in for Auburn at a point guard spot. Redshirt, or a true freshman for Auburn. Inbound to Chaney Johnson. Out at the top, Janai Broom leaves for Miles Kelly. Right wing for Cheney. Puts it on the floor with the left hand. Into the lane, up from about 12. Let's go.
Beautifully done. He put it on the deck with his left hand, got to the middle of the paint, just did something that Cheney hadn't done in a long time. Got up over the top of the guy.
4-2 the score. Houston on top with the ball. Uzan out the left wing, picks up the dribble. Out to the top for Arsenault. Right back to Houston, or Uzan between the circles. Free throw line, spins, fade away from 4. Good.
Beautifully done. What a good matchup at point guard. Uzan's very good. He's quick, got great hands. He's got an excellent dribble. Pettiford's got to respect that.
6-2 Houston. Auburn ball. Pettiford on the wing for Miles Kelly. Kelly picked up by Arsenault there. Top of the circle, left wing, 3 ball. Cheney short. Rebound pulled in by Pettiford for Auburn. Gets around the man. Off the left wing, wide open 3, Denver, it's blocked, got it back. Denver drives to the hole, up on the right hand, good!
Beautifully done, he never gave up, even though he got his 3-point shot blocked. He took the ball off of the retrieve and took it to the basket and stuck it in.
6-4 Houston, 16-25, first half of play. Houston basketball. Between the circles, Uzan. On the right side, picks up the dribble. Hands, now gets the ball right back on the left wing. Right hand dribble, off the right side, Sharp goes baseline. Fade away over Pettiford, missed it. Weak side rebound, fought for, Broom pulls it out of the sky.
Establish yourselves on the defensive board's a big key of mine, and we did that then. Let's turn it into 2 points.
Whistle foul away from the ball. It's going to go against Auburn.
I think Cheney posted up a little bit too aggressively that time on the low post.
Time out of the floor, 15 minutes to go in the first half of play. Houston 6, Auburn 4, first half tonight. Presented by Southern Union, conveniently located just a few miles from Auburn. Southern Union offers classes that easily transfer to the university. Endless opportunities are right up the road. Stay tuned, Auburn basketball continues in a moment.
If your day sounds like,
we need the report ASAP.
You deserve Modelo. If you've persevered through, you deserve this rich golden lager with a crisp but refreshing taste. Or if you overcame,
2 more reps, 2 more.
you deserve this ice-cold reward. Modelo, the Remarkable Fighter. Drink responsibly. Beer imported by Crown Port Chicago, Illinois.
When the game is on the line, you want someone you can count on. At Alabama Power, we believe in consistency and having each other's back. It's our game plan to safely deliver the electricity you depend on. We give 100% to achieve 99.9% reliability. Learn how we power a better Alabama at alabamapower.com/reliable. Alabama Power is a proud supporter of the Auburn Tigers.
Conecuh sausage is a fan favorite for tailgating, always great on the grill, and it's the official sausage dog and hot dog of the Auburn Tigers. Conecuh sausage is made from the finest cuts of pork, their patented blend of seasonings, and smoked over a pure hickory fire for that true Southern flavor. Be sure to visit the Conecuh Gift Shop in Evergreen, Alabama, right off I-65 at exit 96. Enjoy a crowd-pleasing Conecuh sausage dog while watching the Tigers and make Conecuh part of your game day. Conecuh sausage since 1947, a real winner.
Alabama Power is proud to present this broadcast of Auburn basketball. Alabama Power, power for a better Alabama.
5 minutes in at the Toyota Center in Houston. The Cougars lead Auburn 6-4. Both teams have a guard in foul trouble among their starters. 2 apiece for Chad Baker-Mazzara and 2 for L.J. Cryer for Houston. Auburn has been called for 3 fouls tonight. Houston for 2. Rebounding early on, Auburn with a 4, Houston with 2. The Tigers are 2 of 7 from the field. The Cougs are 3 of 4 from the field. And both teams are getting the ball to the rim early on.
Well, I think Auburn is a little bit more aggressive. We're 0 for 5 for the 3-point line. So 2 for 2 from the inside the arc. So the coaches will make an adjustment to that. We've got to do a better job executing our offense, setting better screens, and we've had 2 or 3 shots that we should have taken, and we kind of hesitated. On Houston, you cannot hesitate. You got to take it when it's there.
Miles Kelly, Chris Moore, Tahad Pettiford, Cheney Johnson, and Janai Broom, the Auburn 5. Roberts, Tugler, Sharp, Uzan, and Arsenault, the 5 for Houston. Houston ball following the timeout and the foul
Let's see
against
what
Cheney
this full
Johnson.
court press will do right here.
Uzan will trigger. Gets the ball inbound to Sharp, and Auburn backs off after the initial pass. Uzan across midcourt, picked up by Tahad Pettiford. 6-4 Houston with the ball and the lead. Left wing Roberts outside the arc. Down the left side to Tugler. Tugler puts it on the floor against Arsenault. Out to the wing, ball deflected and out of bounds. They're going to give the ball to Houston. Nice catch, Randall Dickey. You all right?
Got to be quick tonight.
Yes, yeah, you do, baby. 11 on the shot clock for Houston. Out of bounds, down the left sideline. Into the backcourt for Uzan. Left-hand dribble, Uzan across midcourt. Shot clock at 6. Drives down the left side of the lane. Head fake down the lane. Shot is up, and it is missed. And the rebound pulled in by Pettiford. Bodies on the floor, Auburn the other way. Pettiford, stop and pop three. It was in and out. Rebound to the free throw line, and Uzan the other way for Houston. Up the left sideline for Sharp. Sharp picked up the dribble. He walked and got away with it. Boy, oh boy. Right in front of the officials. Uzan around Pettiford to the hole. Uzan, good.
It's going to be a tough matchup. Tahad's got to really respect him. He's really got some good game. Uzan and Pettiford's a good matchup, but it's going to be good for the freshman to get a little dose of.
Auburn is open, 6 from 3. They get the ball low post, head fake, Cheney, up and under and in.
Oh, beautifully done. Really powered his way, was determined to stick that ball in the basket, and I'm not sure he didn't get fouled.
8-6, Houston with the lead. 13:41, first half of play. Low post, Roberts against Broom. Ball knocked away by Janai. Ball is on the floor, out of bounds off of Houston.
Good defense by the Tigers that time.
Into the lineup for Auburn, Dylan Cardwell to give Janai Broom a rest. Wilson is into the limit. Myleik Wilson is in on the perimeter, checking in for Sharp for Houston.
Pretty high-level game right now.
Yeah, it is. Chance for Auburn to tie it or take the lead right here. Pettiford, right sideline Moore. Between the circles, Cheney Johnson, left wing for Miles Kelly. Kelly yet to put it on the floor. Needs to, quickly. Long three, logo three, miss long. Rebound weak side Cardwell and out of bounds off Dylan.
Made a terrific offensive rebound. Just could not gather himself quickly enough to get it back in the basket.
Another chance for Auburn to tie it or take the lead. Tigers unable to do so. Houston leads 6-4. Houston back to its bench. And they go to Ramon Walker Jr., a senior at 6'5" from Pearland, Texas. He comes in for Roberts. They get a little bit smaller with this lineup. Inbound to Walker. To Uzan, will bring the ball up the floor. Uzan between the circles, works on Miles Kelly. Gets the ball top of the circle, off the right side. Tugler, bounce pass, down the lane, kicks it to the corner. Now to the wing, Uzan. Uzan from 13, good.
He's a good player. We've got to keep a guy on him. He's a key for, since Cryer is out, Uzan is really taken over the last 3 or 4 possessions.
Houston fans to their feet, 10-6 Cougars. Cheney Johnson, a step to the hole, goes up, no, foul on the play. Cheney will go to the line to shoot a couple, and he has looked for his shot since coming in, Randall.
Hey, I am just amazed. Cheney has improved so much. His upper body's gotten stronger. His game off the deck, putting it on the floor, getting to the basket has really improved, and you can just tell in his confidence level.
Cheney at the line for 2 for Auburn. Transfer from Alabama Huntsville a year ago. His best game in an Auburn uniform, 16 points at Georgia last February. He's at the line for 2. The first is in and out.
He just needs to see that ball. He needs to make this free throw, see the ball go into the basket, gain a little bit more confidence on his scoring.
Pettiford and Moore come out. Denver Jones and J.P. Pegues is in for Auburn. Tugler out of the lineup. And right back in, Javier Francis. Second free throw is good.
There we go.
For Cheney
there
Johnson. That cuts the lead to 3. 10-7. 12:41, first half. 10-7 Houston. Auburn presses. Inbound in the backcourt. Uzan will bring it up the floor for the Cougars. Left-hand dribble picked up by Denver Jones. Uzan picks up the dribble. Floats it left side, knocked away. Dylan Cardwell. Race to the basket. Drives and dunks it.
Out of baby Cardwell. That was awesome. Great defense. Ran through a pass and finished on the other end with a slam.
Sun-South drive the game. Sun-South John Deere. Preferred tractor of the Tigers. Find your local dealer at sunsouth.com. Auburn within 1. 10-9. Drive to the hole for Houston. Shot is up, and it's a whistle and a foul. They're going to get Miles Kelly. He never established himself, and Miles is called for the block.
Officials have been very consistent. They're going to protect the guy on the drive. Tigers need to pass that along to their players. Take the ball to the goal. Officials are going to protect you a little bit there.
10-9 Houston, 12:09, first half of play. Terrence Arsenault at the free throw line, his first free throw of the season. 6'6" sophomore out of Beaumont, Texas. Free throw is missed.
Really nice looking player.
Missed most of last season with a torn Achilles. 10-9 Houston. Arsenault can make it a 2-point lead with 12:10 to go in the first. And he missed both. Free throw, Cardwell. Chad Baker-Mazzara, 2 fouls and all, right back into the ball game for the Tigers. Chance for Auburn to take the lead for the first time tonight. Pegues. Between the legs, gets a screen from Cardwell. Right wing, Baker-Mazzara. Chad to the top for Pegues, 14 to shoot. JP backs up. Wants a screen from Cardwell. Picks up the dribble double team. Right wing down underneath. And it's Chaney Johnson up for a shot, and he's fouled in the play.
Beautifully done.
Well, it was.
Anytime that ball goes to the center, around that paint area, they're going to double team, which opens up other players.
And Cardwell knew exactly where he was going with that. He was coming to a slashing Chad Baker-Mazzara, who's fouled by Francis. And Chaney will go to the line to shoot 2 when we come back. The score, 11-44 in the first. Houston 10, Auburn 9. Stay tuned. This is the Auburn Sports Network.
I love watching my child grow through football, learning values and life skills that extend beyond the playing field. Now, there are more ways to play than ever before, from flag to tackle and beyond, with opportunities for boys and girls at any age. To find the right team, explore FutureForFootball.com's new League Locator tool and explore nearby leagues. It's never been easier to get your family involved in the game.
Hey, I'm Charles Barkley. Call for a Redmont and water at bars and restaurants throughout the great state of Alabama. Redmont Vodka, available at select ABC stores and package stores. Redmont Vodka is 8 times distilled, gluten-free, and is made from non-GMO corn. Looking to support a local business? Redmont Distilling is Alabama proud and minority owned. Learn more online at redmontdistilling.com.
The passion, the tradition, the rivalries. SiriusXM is your destination for all things college sports, and we've got you covered. On SEC Radio, there is complete coverage of every school in the conference, including live games, plus 24/7 talk and analysis. So cheer along on the SiriusXM app and listen to your favorite team anywhere. And now you can get 3 months of SiriusXM free. Subscribe now. See offer details at SiriusXM.com/SEC Sports.
Brad Law in the Auburn Sports Network studios as we check the Yellowwood scoreboard. Not much going on at all in college basketball. In fact, there are only 4 other games in progress now, including Nevada leading Washington 17-6 as they play early in the first half. College football, plenty. 3 games involving SEC teams. It's number 24 Missouri clinging to a 1-point lead over Oklahoma 10-9 early in the fourth quarter. 7th-ranked Tennessee pulling away from Mississippi State 33-14 midway through the fourth. And number 11 Alabama controlling LSU in Baton Rouge 28-6. 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. Let's get you back out to Houston. Tigers trail the Cougars 10-9. Andy Burcham, Coach Randall Dickey.
Chaney Johnson will be at the free throw line for Auburn when play resumes. For every Auburn three-pointer, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services donates $25 to Coach Pearl's Outlive Cancer Initiative, benefiting local cancer patients and treatment centers. That's kind of what we expected, Randall, in the first nearly 9 or 8.5 minutes of this basketball game.
Well, I'm going to give the credit to the coaches the last 2 or 3 minutes. The great adjustment Auburn made by changing the lineup. He went ahead and Coach Pearl had confidence in putting Chad Baker back in. Will Coach Sampson have the same confidence in L.J. Cryer, who's got 2 fouls in 3 minutes? Remains to be seen.
Right. He has 2 fouls, but remains on the bench.
I would like to see Auburn be a little bit more aggressive off the bounce toward the basket. Got to set good screens, but the ball movement was beautifully displayed a while ago from Pegues to Cardwell to Chaney Johnson, and now the result for the free throws after that.
The foul was against Javier Francis, his first. Johnson, 1 of 2 from the line tonight, gets a couple. Right-hander out of Alabaster, Alabama at Thompson High School. And he ties the ball game for the first time since 0-0.
It's looking like he's kind of the X factor, especially in this first half. He's a tough matchup for Houston.
Leads Auburn with 6, make it 7 points, and gives Auburn its first lead of the night. 11-10 Tigers, 11:44 to go in the first half. Auburn will press. Uzon looking for a trigger, gets the ball inbound to Sharp, now to Uzon, who'll bring it up the floor. 11:40 in the first, Auburn up 11-10 against Houston at the Toyota Center. Off the left wing, Sharp, open 3 ball for Houston. Nope. Weak side rebound. Out of bounds off of Houston. That's Auburn ball.
Auburn's done a great job boxing out. Anytime that the Houston Cougars have taken a shot, they've sealed off. That time was deflected out of bounds by Houston. We'll get the ball back.
Houston brings back their preseason first team All Big 12 center, Juwan Roberts, grad student out of the Virgin Islands. Auburn ball leading 11-10. Pegues, Chaney, left wing, baseline left to Hopper, gets tied up and walked. Denver Jones tied up and walked.
I think Denver had a good idea then. He just went one bounce too far.
Yeah, you get that close against this defense.
Yeah, you're going to reach him. You're going to get some resistance.
Indeed. Auburn presses.
Really making Houston work to get that ball inbounds is a great trait that the Tigers have always had.
Milos Uzon in the center circle. Working on J.P. Pegues. Gets a screen from Sharp. Drives down the lane to the basket. Ball blocked out of bounds. Chaney Johnson blocked that one in about the third row.
That kind of sent a message to everybody in the building that if you drive against Cardwell and Chad Baker, it might go the other direction.
Indeed.
What a block.
11:03. First half. Auburn 11, Houston 10. 14 to shoot for the Cougars. Uzon will trigger down the left sideline, or in the corner, I should say. Still looking, lobs it, knocked out of bounds by Denver Jones.
That's one thing they worked on in practice today is Coach Pearl wants them not just to defend aggressively on underneath out of bounds plays, but play the man to try to steal the ball.
Broom in, Cardwell out for the Tigers.
Boy, he had a good series then. Dylan really played well.
Houston ball, shot clock at 12. Uzon at the right wing. Picked up the dribble. Lobs it for Roberts. Drives on Broom. Up with the left hand. And he banked it in.
Good player, seasoned player, made a nice jump hook. Sometimes good players just make good plays.
Houston by 1, 10:42 in the first half. Chad Baker-Mazara, right wing. Gets a screen from Broom. Kicks it left wing, Denver Jones. Down near the baseline, left side. Near the corner. Reverses back out with 13 to shoot. Pegues in the center circle, 9 to shoot. Auburn trails by 1. Pegues drives on Wilson to the corner. Chaney Johnson, and he stepped out of bounds.
I wish they would kind of keep their hands off. Seems like with J.P. Pegues, they're really, when he drives, he doesn't have a lot of weight to him, and he's easily guided. When you put that hand on the hip, I wish they would protect him a little bit more on that.
More in. Baker-Mazara out for Auburn. 5 turnovers for Auburn in the first half. 4 for Houston. 10-18 first half. Houston leads Auburn 12-11. On the right wing, Roberts back out to the top for Uzon. Against Denver Jones. Uzon picks up the dribble. Down the left side of the lane for Tugler. Drives on Chaney. Turnaround jumper. Tugler missed it. Ball knocked out of bounds by Tugler. Auburn ball.
Outstanding defense by Chaney Johnson. That was 2 guys. That was a physical play there, and there was no foul.
Gained 25 pounds of strength in the offseason.
He held his ground.
Yes, he did.
Challenged the shot and then sealed off to retrieve the ball.
9:53 first half. Auburn trails by 1. Pegues, a screen from Denver. Now brings it to the top of the circle. Passes left side, Chaney. Low post, Broom to the hole with the left hand.
Great ball movement. Took the ball from one side of the floor to the other. Janai had an angle on it, and is a beautiful pass by Chaney Johnson for the assist.
13-12 Auburn, 9:31 in the first half. Uzon, after the first pass, brings the ball up the floor against Chris Moore. Walks it across midcourt on the left-hand dribble. Off the left side for Sharp near the wing. Loops it out to the top for Roberts. Roberts to Uzon out of the wing. Back to Roberts. Backs up against Broom. To the hole with the left hand. Didn't get it. Rebound underneath Tugler. To the wing. Off the left wing. Sharp. Wide open three ball. In and out. Rebound. Houston. Third chance. Shot is up. Missed. Rebound Broom. Out of bounds off Janai.
It's 2 offensive rebounds by Houston. The Tigers should have retrieved them both and did not. Got to play a little bit more aggressive. Losing Cardwell on the substitutions has created that. We're not near as aggressive, and Chaney has lost a contact, I think.
Cardwell comes in. So does Pettiford. So does Kelly for Auburn. Yeah, and it does look like it's the left eye that Chaney wants to put that that contact in. He will get some help from the sideline. Clark Pearson, Auburn's athletic trainer. He's got a finite amount of time. Nope. They take him out. All right.
I'll tell you another thing we got to get under control. JoJo Tugler, we got to get him under control.
Yeah.
He is an active big.
Roberts on the perimeter. Cryer, who has 2 fouls, works on Pettiford on the right wing, and a foul on Pettiford. It'll be the first foul on Pettiford.
Well, I think the third official finally showed up. He felt like he needed to get in the game, and I'm not sure either player gained an advantage on that whistle.
5th foul as a team for Auburn. Inbound to Cryer. Top of the circle off the left wing. Picked up by Broom. Now Pettiford. Cryer at the top. Open 3 ball in the air. It's missed. And the rebound, Broom pulls it in for Auburn.
That's a lot better. Get in their offensive transition right now.
Auburn 13, Houston 12. 8:36 in the first half of play. Tahad Pettiford, right wing, picks up the dribble. Top of the circle, Broom. Left wing, Kelly. Miles at the point. Lobs to Chris Moore outside the arc. Hands it right back to Miles. Kelly, top of the circle, Pettiford. 8 to shoot. Behind the back dribble, Pettiford. Step back, 3 ball, Pettiford. Yes!
Beautifully done. What a play. Shows that he is a 5-star McDonald's All-American right there.
16-12 Auburn. First 3 of the night from Tahad Pettiford. 8:05 in the first half of play. Between the circles, Wilson. Out at the top for Sharp. Auburn by 4, Houston ball. Sharp gets a screen, drives baseline, picks up the dribble. Out to the top, it comes for Wilson. Head fake up from 15, no. Rebound Kelly. Here's Auburn on the break. Miles across midcourt. He waits for the numbers now. Kelly, low post Cardwell. Into the corner, Pettiford. Tahad, left wing 3, no. Oh, he banked it in!
Beautifully done.
Oh,
Wow.
he banked it in!
Hey, sometimes it just happens to go in, and it's a good time for the Tigers.
7:36 in the first. Houston with a timeout. Auburn 19, Houston 12. Hey, great things are possible when you have the power, performance, and smart features of a Ford F-150. It's the official truck of the Auburn Tigers. Greatness starts at your local Ford dealer. Auburn at 19, Houston 12. 7:36 in the first as Auburn basketball continues in a moment.
Let's huddle up and make things happen with the only cards for the Plains. The Auburn University Regions Visa Debit Card and prepaid Regions Now card. They're a win for your wallet and a big war eagle, whether you're purchasing stuff for game day or every day. Want to go all in on confidently showing your Tiger pride? Order your card now at regions.com/GoTigers. Regions, official bank of the SEC. Member FDIC. Terms, conditions, and fees apply.
This is Coach Bruce Pearl on the Ford F-150 Highlight Show. I tell my team that if we play smart, out-hustle the competition, and work hard each and every day, we can be winners. And you know what? That's how Ford F-150 does it too. Offering an outstanding combination of smart tech, power, and capability, F-150 is the key to help me win the day. Hey, why don't you see how the official truck of the Auburn Tigers can help you? Go to buyfordnow.com or see your local Ford dealer today. War Eagle.
Hi, I'm Whataburger's Breakfast on a Bun, or Bob. And I'm Bob Ranchero. We're brothers. We've both got signature sausage, fresh egg, and melty cheese. And I've got picante salsa and pickled jalapenos. I'm the spicy one.
And I'm the reliable one.
And I'm reliably spicy. No, being reliable is my thing. Right, and I'm spicy. Right. Reliably spicy. Oh my gosh.
Whataburger's breakfast on a bun Bob Ranchero, served 11 p.m. to 11 a.m.
The Alabama Department of Public Health reminds you, don't wait, vaccinate. Stay current on all vaccines. Visit alabamapublichealth.gov/IMM to learn more.
7 minutes and 36 seconds to go in the first half after Auburn missed its first 7 3-pointers. Todd Pettiford has hit back-to-back threes from just right of the key, nothing but net. And then from the left wing, nothing but net after it banked in. And Auburn has forged a 19-12 lead with 7:36 to go in the first half.
I guess we need to be honest and just say that, he didn't really call that bank. But what a shot.
I didn't hear it.
That was deep.
Yeah.
And he has given the Tigers, we were 0 for 7, now we're 2 for 9, but we've got a 7-point lead. One thing that I've noticed strategically, Houston Cougars are not near the same team without Milos Uzan or LJ Cryer on the floor. The Tigers' depth, the rotation, the different combination of players has made a difference, certainly in that last segment.
Auburn shooting, by the way, is up to 50%, 7 of 14. And rebounding early on, the Auburn Tigers have the edge at 10-8. Coming up, Conecuh halftime with Brad Law. 7 minutes and 36 seconds of game time away. Auburn played Houston 2 years ago, and make that 2 seasons ago in the NCAA tournament. Remember, Auburn led by 10 at the half. Houston dominated that second half. Let's see what Auburn can do for the final 7:36 of this first half. Well, here's your Auburn 5. Pettiford, Kelly, Moore, Johnson, Broom for the Tigers.
And they've got Uzan back in the game right now to handle that ball. This full court press has not created turnovers, but what it has done, it has sped Houston's offense up because they've had to work to get it up the floor.
The inbound comes too sharp. Now back to Uzan. He'll bring the ball up the floor. Junior out of Las Vegas, Nevada, Desert Pines High School, transferred in from Oklahoma, picks up the dribble, lobs it in the key for Roberts against Broom, spins into the lane to the low post, puts it up. Janai blocked it, rebounded it. Outlet to Pettiford up the floor for the Tigers. Underneath, ball deflected, and here's Houston the other way. Uzan to the left wing for Cryer. 3 ball may have been blocked. Whistle, foul. Against Pettiford going by.
Yeah, I think he noticed him on the. It's something the young freshman's going to have to learn. Anytime you're in a basketball game, back-to-back mistakes is something that you want to stay away from.
Yeah, second foul on Pettiford. Now the question is, was it a 2 or was it a 3? And I think they're going to review it to see.
Well, we're a little bit at a disadvantage.
We can't tell from our vantage point, which is courtside, but down that left sideline, we did not see whether his foot was on the line or behind it. They are reviewing that right. I won't be surprised if it's not a 3-shot foul for LJ Cryer.
I was really glad to see tremendous defense that Janai Broom put on.
LJ Roberts.
That was outstanding. He kind of sent a message because really Roberts has been pretty aggressive taking the ball to the goal, and most of the time when he gets it that deep, he's so strong, he gets it in the basket.
Looks like it was a 3. I think that's what we're going to see is LJ Cryer shooting 3 here, and he hadn't missed from the free throw line in this very young season. We have not seen, the officials haven't made it official yet, but what we're gathering is it was a 3 that he was taking, and Chad Baker-Mazzara, if that's the case, will come in after the second free throw attempt. Now let's see.
I know the officials
his right foot is close to the line, and they continue to look at this.
Well, maybe you could pass my glasses down there and let them.
You think they'd take your glasses?
Yeah, I'm not sure that'd be a good idea for the
Here's
Tigers
the call.
right
It
now.
is a 3. All right, so Cryer will shoot 3 free throws. Second foul on Pettiford. 6th foul against Auburn here in the first half. Houston has been called for 4. And LJ Cryer is at the line. Preseason first team All Big 12. He led the Big 12 with 3-pointers per game a year ago. 112 of 289 from 3 last season. First of 3 is in the air. It's good.
Well, he's the kind of player you might win a possession or two here or there on him, and you'd like to be 50% on those, but you're not going to keep him completely down. He's going to come back. He's competitive, and he's got a good wrist on him.
First 2 free throws are good. His first 2 points of the night. Moore out. Chad Baker-Mazzara in for Auburn. Pettiford, Chad Baker, Miles Kelly, Chaney Johnson, and Broom for Auburn. Free throw is up. He missed the third free throw. Rebound, Chad Baker-Mazzara. Auburn's lead is 5. 7:06 in the first half. Pettiford to the right wing. Broom, top of the circle. Now drives, gets the ball back to Pettiford. Low post, Broom to the hole up. Yes, and a foul!
What a pass by the freshman. He is growing up right before our eyes. Came off the down screen. They tried to double him, and he threaded the needle with the pass that was beautifully done, and Janai finished.
Broom in, Pettiford out, right back to Broom for the basket and the and one.
Well, he's our All-American. He's got to have touches. You might go one trip down the floor, but you can't go two without him getting a look at it.
Free throw by Janai. He missed it. Got it. Rebound pulled in by Tugler. By the way, the foul was Roberts' first of the night. 21-14 Tigers, 6:50 to go in the first. Uzon, left wing. Uzon back or spins into the lane, down to the basket, missed it, got his own rebound. Pinned Auburn deep on that one. Out to the top for Cryer. Cryer with a screen by Roberts on the wing, picked up by Pettiford. Another screen. Cryer at the top. Good.
He's a good player. Going against the freshman then, he kind of got the upper hand, came off that screen with a three-point shot.
21-17 Tigers, 6:20 in the first half. Pettiford has to pick up the dribble down the sideline right side for Chad Baker. Puts it on the floor with the left hand, into the key, picks up the dribble. Now to Broom on the wing. Janai, 10 to shoot, faces the basket. Long three, Broom, no, long. Rebound, tap up, missed. Rebound up and good by Chaney Johnson.
Chaney Johnson is everywhere tonight. He's on the offensive glass. He's playing great defense.
9 for Chaney. Low post, down to the floor. It goes for Cryer. Fade away, good. Look out.
We've got to get a little bit older guy on Cryer. I'm not quite sure. Pettiford's really playing well, but he's just not quite of age to take care of a guy like L.J. Cryer.
7 straight points for Cryer. 2019 on Pettiford, right side of the circle. Miles Kelly at the top. Backs up out of a double team. Pettiford, long three. No. Long rebound pulled in by Houston. Auburn's lead is 4. Houston ball. 5:21, first half of play. On the wing, Sharp. Bounce pass, top of the circle for Tugler. Tugler picks up the dribble. Gets the ball to Cryer, left side of the key. Goes baseline. Loses it, gets it back up. No good. Rebound tapped in by Tugler. No. Basket interference. Basket interference on Tugler, Auburn ball. Here comes Denver Jones replacing Tahad Pettiford. He joins Miles Kelly, Chad Baker-Mazzara, Chaney Johnson, and Janai Broom for Auburn. Houston fans don't agree with the call, the replay, shown on the video board. Auburn basketball. They may review this later. We saw this earlier this year. At the wing, Chad Baker-Mazzara. Top of the circle for Jones. 16 to shoot for Auburn. Whistle a foul away from the ball. It's going to go against Francis. No, they called that on Broom. Wow. Well, this same official. First foul on Janai, 7th foul against Auburn. Banging away from the ball, and they got the Auburn guy.
I did not see that, but I know that he and Roberts were banging underneath that basket.
Yeah. 4:51 in the first. Auburn by 4, Houston ball. 23-19, Tigers on top. Here's Chris Moore replacing Chad Baker-Mazzara. Kind of minimized here in the first half with 2 fouls.
Yeah, and I still got to go back to my initial wave of they were 40 feet from the basketball, and I'm not sure either one of them gained an advantage on the other.
Houston full length of the floor after the foul on Broom, his first of the night. Auburn 7. Oh, inbound in the backcourt for Sharp. Almost a 5-second violation.
They almost did. The Tigers' length is really giving Houston problems.
Uzon, Sharp, left side of the key. Top now between the circles, or in the center circle, Uzon. Roberts hands the ball at the top. Off the left side for Uzon. Uzon, top of the key. Drives into the lane. Euro step up with a wild shot. Missed it. Rebound Roberts. Saves it to Uzon in the corner. Sharp out on the right wing. Long three. Yep.
Anytime they get an offensive rebound, always is a negative. Usually turns into a three-point shot. That's what just happened.
Well, those offensive rebounds killed Auburn 2 years ago. That's the 7th of the night for Houston. Auburn's lead is 1. Denver Jones bumped it midcourt. Yeah, finally got a foul out there against Milos Uzon. Here comes Dylan Cardwell replacing Chaney Johnson.
That's only his first.
Yeah.
One thing Uzon has played, he's played 15 minutes right off the bat. He and Sharp both are playing a large number of minutes.
Houston to its bench. Tugler is in. And Francis comes out. Auburn by 1, 23-22. 4:04 and an evenly played first half. Inbound Cardwell. Now Broom got pushed in the back. Long three, Miles Kelly banked it in.
Bang. What a shot. He didn't call that bank either, but we'll sure take it.
8th three of the year for Miles. 26-22 Tigers. Quickly up the floor. Malik Wilson. Wilson working out on the side against Miles Kelly. Down the lane, drive to the hole, wild shot missed, whistle foul against Broom. Second foul on Janai. Tugler did a nice job selling that one. 3:41 to go in the first, the score. Auburn 26, Houston 22. Auburn basketball brought to you by Auburn Opelika Tourism. Start your next visit to the Plains at aotourism.com. This is the Auburn Sports Network.
Here's a clip from a recent Talking Tigers podcast with Andy Burcham, Jason Campbell.
He called a rollout play, so we practiced this in practice. We're going to roll out away from their furthest defender, which was to the boundary, their corner. So we're going to let him come free. Everybody else we have a hat for. So I just remember the play snap. You tell the corner blitz is coming, the corner's cheated, the safety's over top. So as soon as we snap the ball, you're trying to get to a certain spot in order for Courtney to have time to get to his route and get out. So I'm trying to get to a spot, and then I see the back of Courtney's jersey, and then I know he's running a combat, so I have to let the ball go a little early, put a little air under it, and then I didn't see the rest of the play. At that point in time, I got hit from the front, got hit from the back. I just remember on the ground, I heard the crowd go crazy, and I got up and saw that he had caught the ball, and everybody was going crazy.
A new episode of the Talking Tigers podcast is released every Monday, wherever you listen to podcasts. Like and subscribe to the Talking Tigers podcast, only from the Auburn Sports Network.
Are you looking to advance your career without putting your life on hold? Consider the flexibility of an online MBA at Auburn University's Harvard College of Business. Ranked among the nation's best by U.S. News and World Report, our 100% online MBA program provides the flexibility you need to pursue a degree while maintaining your personal and professional life. Learn more at harvard.auburn.edu.
Brad Law in the Auburn Sports Network studios. That's where we'll be in 3 minutes and 41 seconds of game action for Conecuh halftime. We'll update SEC basketball and football scores. We'll give you an Auburn athletics report, tell you about a big win for Equestrian today and a record-setting night for women's basketball last night. Plus, we'll give you all the pertinent stats from the first 20 minutes of basketball, all coming up at Conecuh halftime. Right now, Auburn leads Houston 26-22. Back to the voice of the Tigers, Andy Burcham, Coach Randall Dickey. Guys, 3 players now with 2 personal fouls for the Tigers as we reach the latter stages of the first half. Something to watch in these critical minutes before halftime.
Brad, let me just say this as well. They reviewed the goaltend against Houston and gave him the basket. So it's a 2-point Auburn lead, 26-24.
I think the biggest thing in that segment that was different before it started, with a 12-8 lead in the rebounding department, and now we only have a 1 rebound lead, 14-13. They've hustled us, which has turned into a 3-point shot by Arsenault. We also let L.J. Cryer float open a couple of times. He's got the crowd back into the game, and Houston kind of had the momentum.
Here is a startling stat for you, Randall Dickey. Bench points. Auburn 18, Houston nothing. off the bench here in the first half of play.
Well, that's our game. You're going to hear us say that a lot this year. That's really important for us. The productivity is a complete unit in the Auburn basketball program, and that means contributions come all up and down that bench. Chaney Johnson, Dylan Cardwell has played very well. He has not scored very well, but he has really given us some energy defensively, and he has controlled the defensive rebounding when he was in the game. Now we've gone back to the long lineup, the tall lineup.
Cardwell and Broom and Kelly and Chad Baker, Mazzara, and Denver Jones. Houston at the line for a couple. First free throw is short, almost didn't even hit the iron for Joseph Tugler.
Tugler's a nice looking big player. He's got great size. He's very active.
He missed both,
but he's not a great scorer.
Rebound to Chad Baker Mazzara. Ahead Denver Jones, Auburn by 2, 3:34 in the first. Denver working on Uzon. Hands the ball to Chad Baker Mazzara, top of the circle, Broom. To CBM on the wing, double teams, whips a pass, Broom. Outside the arc, top of the circle, ball knocked away, still loose. Sharp has it at midcourt for Houston. They get it underneath for Wilson, he dunks it, and we're tied. Tied at 26, 3:11 in the first.
That's our first kind of big mistake offensively. We just got lazy with the basketball.
8 turnovers for Auburn in the first half. Chad Baker double team. Low post for Broom. Lost it. Ball still loose. And Auburn calls a timeout. Broom. Or do they call a travel on Auburn?
Not quite sure.
I
yes,
think
sir.
Janai got the timeout. 12 on the shot clock as Auburn uses its first timeout of the half. 2:56 in the first. Auburn and Houston tied at 26. Along with Randall Dickey, Brad Law in our Auburn Sports Network studios. We're at the Toyota Center in Houston. We're the number 1 and 2 teams in the Ken Pom poll. Houston 1, Auburn 2 are tied at 26 with 2:56 to go in a physically played first half of basketball. No big surprise.
Not any doubt the last 2 possessions, Houston has won defensively because their energy level, they really have gotten after it. One thing that the Tigers have stopped doing is running their offense with efficiency, but also taking the ball from one side of the floor. What that does, it makes the defense have to move, opens up passing angles, opens up driving angles, and also opens up open shots. So we've got to get back to doing that.
Out of bounds, left baseline, Broom will trigger, tied at 26. 12 on the shot clock for Auburn. Janai lives it in for Chad Baker Mazzara. Got pushed, don't have a lot of time. Low post, Broom, and he got pushed from behind by Tugler.
I really think you're going to see that down the stretch in the game. I think you're going to see the Tigers pound the ball into Broom. He's just so big and wide. He's so crafty with that left hand. He is hard to guard.
Pegues replaces Jones. Moore will come in for Broom after Janai shoots these free throws. Nope, Moore's going to come in for Chad Baker Mazzara. Good idea. Remember, he's got 2 fouls. And Chaney, I think, will come in for Broom, who also has 2 fouls.
Well, I think that's a smart play by Chad Baker because Chad Baker's a little bit more offensive oriented. We don't want to lose him.
Free throw by Janai is short, and the rebound to Houston. 26 apiece, 2:47 in the first half. Houston basketball. Wilson out top of the circle for Uzan. Kicks it to the right wing, back to Uzan at the top. Left-hand dribble, Uzan. Top of the key now for Wilson. Wilson drives down the left side of the lane. Bumped, fadeaway. Didn't get it. Rebound, tap up, miss. Rebound, Broom. Fought for, out of bounds on Janai. He got pushed out of bounds, but they called the ball out of bounds on Janai.
Absolutely got sandwiched right there by 2 Houston players.
He'll come out, and Chaney Johnson is in. 2:25 well, those offensive rebounds. That's 8 for Houston in the first half, 5 for Auburn.
As the game is going on, they've got right back into their game. Offensive rebounding, deflections off the rim, keeping it live.
Inbound into the corner, to the wing, top of the circle, down the left side. They bring it to Wilson, top of the key. Down the left side of the lane. Wilson loops it out into the left corner. Working on Miles Kelly. Down the left side, Tugler. Right back to Wilson. Wilson to Uzon. Drives. Fade away. Blocked by Moore. Out of bounds off of Auburn.
That was outstanding defense by Moore. That's one thing I really like is his strength going against Uzan.
2 on the shot clock for Houston. 2:07 in the first. Auburn and Houston tied at 26.
It's going to be either a quick 3 or something right at the basket for a lob.
Uzon will trigger baseline right. They put Wilson and Roberts at the free throw line. Looks like they may screen for Roberts. Still looking in the corner. And it's Roberts who goes out of bounds. Auburn ball. Great defense by the Tigers. Chris Moore.
One of the great traits that the Tigers have is defending out-of-bounds plays, and they did it with perfection then.
2:05 in the first. Auburn and Houston tied at 26 in a rugged battle. Sharp back into the lineup for Houston. Replaces Malik Wilson. They join Roberts, Uzon, Arsenault, and Tugler. J.P. Pegues across midcourt. Tied at 26, Auburn ball, 1:57 in the first. Cardwell, left-hand pass. Chaney Johnson spins. Head fake, right wing Kelly. 3 ball, that was blocked. Out of bounds off of Auburn. I think they know who Miles Kelly is, don't you?
Well, I was going to say Miles is usually a little bit quicker draw on his jump shot on that. So he was a little bit slow on his delivery, and if you're slow against Houston, they will close very quickly on you.
Houston full length of the floor to go. Auburn presses as it has the entire first half. Uzon still looking, gets the ball inbound to Roberts, back to Uzon. He'll bring it up the floor on the left-hand dribble. 1:43 and a counting clock. First half, Auburn and Houston tied at 26. Auburn's gone over 2 minutes without scoring. Sharp drives, bumped, Moore leans in, blocked by Chris, and a foul. Wow, golly bum. Woo!
Well, he had a bad angle there.
He sure did. 1:33 in the first. Houston at the line for 2 on what appeared to be a clean block by Chris Moore. Bruce Pearl is reminding the official of that. Sharp at the line for 2. Florida 3A Player of the Year back in 2021. Free throw is in the air, and it is good, and Houston is back up by 1. His career high came against Texas A&M last March. He scored 30 on the Aggies. And they had no trouble with A&M in a charity exhibition game last week. Sharp makes both free throws. Boy, oh boy. Houston by 2. 1:31 to go in the first half of play. Auburn's going 2.5 minutes without scoring. Bounce pass, Cardwell, top of the circle. Dillon puts it on the floor once, right wing for Moore. Chris with 17 to shoot, top of the circle, Pegues. Backs up, working on Uzon, blows past it, drives to the hole, goes up, ball blocked, out of bounds against Auburn. There was contact there, and no foul called.
Also the same official that
Sure
just called
was.
a foul on Moore.
Just swallowed his whistle there.
That's amazing how they've changed in the last 5 minutes of the game and not protecting the ball.
1:11 to go in the first half. Houston by 2 with the basketball. Uzon looking, inbound, ball deflected, still loose. Uzon comes up with it for Houston. 1:06 in the first. Houston by 2. Uzon across midcourt with 1:03 in the first half of play. Sharp drives, knocks down Moore, step back 3, he missed it, weak side rebound, and over the back is Houston. And Sharp knocked Moore to the floor at the top of the key.
Offensive foul, he just pushed him down.
They got a foul on the rebound on Tugler, his second. 55.8 seconds to go in the first half. Houston by 2, 28-26. Auburn at the free throw line with Chaney Johnson. Johnson 3 of 4 from the line tonight. Good gosh, if you're going to call it at one, and you better call it at the other.
Well, it's this is a pretty high-level game, and I'm not for sure that the
free throw by Chaney is in and out. Auburn now 3 of 7 from the free throw line tonight. Houston ball. 50 seconds in the first half. Auburn has gone over 3 minutes without scoring. Houston ball. Off the right side. Down to the baseline. cut off on the baseline. Out into the corner. Arsenault into the lane. Fade away from 7. Block and a foul on Kelly.
Well, he got the ball deep in the paint.
Second foul on Miles Kelly.
And he had to challenge the shot. It's important. We got another possession.
Arsenault at the line for 2 for Houston. Auburn is frustrated right now with the way this last 3 minutes has been called at both ends of the floor.
Yeah, we have to regroup, go back. Let's defend. If he misses the free throw, let's make sure we retrieve it off the glass.
Arsenault makes the free throw. A sophomore from Beaumont, Texas, Beaumont United. His career high came against Oregon back in 2022, a 15-point game. And that was on the road at Oregon. Arsenault gives Houston a 3-point lead. Auburn head coach really in the official's ear right now. And I can't blame him, the way it's been called the last 3 minutes. Arsenault can give Houston a 4-point lead. Auburn has gone 3:25 without scoring. And Arsenault gives Houston a 4-point lead.
Big possession right here. It's probably the Tigers' last possession of the game. They need to execute, get a ball in the basket, go in the halftime with a little bit of momentum.
30-26, Houston on a 6-0 run. 25 seconds to go in the first half. Pegues against Uzon. 15 on the shot clock. Pegues to the right wing, switches to the left hand, 10 to shoot. Screen from Chaney, picks up the dribble, in some trouble. Left wing, Miles Kelly, penetrates to the hole, lobs it up there, banked it in.
Beautiful drive. That's the first drive we've had in a while.
Get back on defense.
Stop the ball.
Uzon, right side, Roberts to the corner. Arsenault, a 3 at the buzzer. Got it.
Got to stop that ball in transition. We let it get too deep. With 4 seconds to go, they went the length of the floor and got a 3-point shot.
At the half, Houston 33, Auburn at 28. Time now for Conecuh halftime. Here is Brad Law.
All right, Andy, thank you very much. Back and forth first half. Houston led for a little over half of it. Tigers had a run there in the middle stages of the first half. This one going to go right down to the wire, you would assume. Tigers trail by 5 at the half, 33-28. We'll start Conecuh halftime with a check of scores. Everything half as far as basketball, everything is in the final. Ranked every effort. It's for a loss to the John Calipari era as they took on number 8 Baylor in Dallas. Jaden Nunn scored 16 for the Bears. He led 5 in double figures. Scott Drew and company winners over Arkansas 72-67. It was 12th ranked Tennessee cruising at Louisville 77-55. Zakai Ziegler with 19 points for the Volunteers. And number 23 Kentucky hit the century mark for a second straight game to start the season. They beat up on Bucknell 100-72. Kobe Brea 20 points to lead 5 Kentucky players in double figures. Elsewhere in college basketball, top 25 action outside the league. Number 3, UConn, a big winner once again. Huskies dismantle New Hampshire 92-53 tonight in Hartford. And it was also number 10, Arizona in Tucson, beating up on Old Dominion 102-44. Tobe Awaka, 18 points, 15 rebounds for the Wildcats, who opened the season at 2-0. In college football today, SEC action. Games in progress now. Number 24, Missouri, trying to come from behind. They are in a tough spot against Oklahoma. Sooners with 14 points in the fourth quarter to come from behind on the road. They lead Missouri 23-16. Also in progress now, number 11, Alabama, running up the score in Baton Rouge. They've just scored again to go up 42-6 at LSU. Jalen Milroe has 185 yards on 12 carries. He scored 4 rushing touchdowns. The Crimson Tide going to get the better of the Bayou Bengals in a fierce rainstorm down in Red Stick. Final scores today in the SEC. Third-ranked Georgia upset in Oxford. 16th-ranked Ole Miss controlled the game after Georgia scored a touchdown in the opening possession. Ole Miss outscored the Bulldogs 28-3 the rest of the way, scoring in every quarter. Field goals, they were 5 for 5 on the day. Rebels beat up on the Bulldogs 28-10. Georgia now 5-2 in the SEC. Ole Miss 4-2 in the league. 5th-ranked Texas bullied Florida 49-17 in Austin. Quinn Ewers 5 touchdown passes to lead the Longhorns. 7th-ranked Tennessee finished off Mississippi State 33-14. Dylan Sampson 149 yards and a score for the Volunteers. And it was South Carolina handling Vanderbilt in the Music City 28-7. That's your SEC football action. Before we continue, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Auburn Sports Network. Six lead changes. It was tied for 3.5 minutes as well. Auburn trails by 5 at the break, 33-28 to the Houston Cougars. We'll take a look around Auburn athletics when we come back. It's Conecuh Halftime, and this is the Auburn Sports Network.
For everyone from players to parents, football offers unlimited growth with even more to learn. Visit futureforfootball.com to get ahead of the game. Find out where to play, what equipment to use, and get the latest from leagues around the country, including pro tips and parental info from the experts. These resources make it easier than ever to create your plan and make your play.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Listen closely. Hear those bubbles? That mouth-watering waterfall? Delicious. Ice cold. And zero sugar. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Hi, this is Coach Hugh Freeze. Tackle game day with the irresistible taste of Coke Zero Sugar. Is it the best Coke ever? Try and decide. War Eagle.
Let's huddle up and make things happen with the only cards for the Plains. The Auburn University Regions Visa Debit Card and Prepaid Regions Now Card. They're a win for your wallet and a big War Eagle, whether you're purchasing stuff for game day or every day. Want to go all in on confidently showing your Tiger pride? Order your card now at regions.com/go Tigers. Regions, official bank of the SEC. Member FDIC. Terms, conditions, and fees apply.
Conecuh Sausage is a fan favorite for tailgating, always great on the grill, and it's the official sausage dog and hot dog of the Auburn Tigers. Conecuh Sausage is made from the finest cuts of pork, their patented blend of seasonings, and smoked over a pure hickory fire for that true Southern flavor. Be sure to visit the Conecuh Gift Shop in Evergreen, Alabama, right off I-65 at exit 96. Enjoy a crowd-pleasing Conecuh Sausage dog while watching the Tigers and make Conecuh part of your game day. Conecuh Sausage since 1947, a real winner.
It is Conecuh halftime. Auburn trails Houston by 5, 33-28 at the half. This Auburn Athletics Report's delivered by Auburn Bank, champions of you. Number 1 on our list tonight, number 1 in the nation. Top-ranked Auburn Equestrian flat out dominated number 2 Texas A&M in front of over 1,000 fans this afternoon. The Tigers held a tight 5-4 lead at the intermission, then took all 10 possible points between fences and horsemanship. The Tigers are unbeaten in the fall, and they closed the fall against Georgia last night in a win and out to just overwhelming Virginia Lynchburg. Coach Jay's squad won the game 128-36 at Neville Arena. Deanna Gaston led 7 in double figures with 36. It's the highest scoring game for an Auburn player since Consuelo Sparrow set the school record with 41 in 1998. The Tigers are at home Thursday night against Little Rock. It'll be their last home game for about a month, and they'll be looking for win number 1,000 in the history of the program in that matchup Thursday night at Neville Arena. A reminder that Tiger Talk comes your way Monday at 6 Central, and we'll be back at Baumhauer's Victory Grill in Auburn for the show. In fact, we'll be there 3 weeks in a row starting Monday night. Coach Hugh Freeze, Coach Karen Hoppe join us in person. Coach Freeze will recap the second bye week, look ahead to next Saturday's against ULM. Karen Hoppe will look ahead to NCAA regionals and recap the regular season. That's Tiger Talk, Monday night, 6 Central, from Baumhauer's Victory Grill in Auburn. Tigers trail Houston 33-28. Conecuh halftime continues in a moment.
Nobody beats Cook's Pest Control when it comes to the superior protection against unwanted pests and termites.
Cook's knowledgeable and courteous technicians are expertly trained to get the job done right. Guaranteed. Protect your home and business with pest control you can trust. Call Cook's today for your free quote or to schedule a free on-site inspection. Cook's Pest Control.
Looky, 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 here comes Cookie, Cook's Pest Control.
Hey, I'm Charles Barkley. Call for a Redmont and water at bars and restaurants throughout the great state of Alabama. Redmont Vodka, available at select ABC stores and package stores. Redmont Vodka is 8 times distilled, gluten-free, and is made from non-GMO corn. Looking to support a local business? Redmont Distilling is Alabama proud and minority owned. Learn more online at redmontdistilling.com.
Today's highlight is brought to you by Toyota. At home or on the road, they're never the underdog. Toyota, let's go places. Lease a new 2024 Toyota RAV4 LE Hybrid for $359 a month for 36 months. Offer valid through December 2nd, 2024. Well-qualified lessees with approved credit through Southeast Toyota Finance. $36.58 to its signing. No security deposit with select equipment. $350 disposition fee. Excludes tax, tag, registration, title, and dealer fees. See dealer for details.
When the game is on the line, you want someone you can count on. At Alabama Power, we believe in consistency and having each other's back. It's our game plan to safely deliver the electricity you depend on. We give 100% to achieve 99.9% reliability. Learn how we power a better Alabama at alabamapower.com/reliable. Alabama Power is a proud supporter of the Auburn Tigers.
Kelly, top of the circle, Pettiford, 8 to shoot. Behind the back dribble, Pettiford. Step back, 3-ball, Pettiford, yes!
Beautifully done. What a play. Shows that he is a 5-star McDonald's All-American right there.
16-12 Auburn.
And on the next possession, Tahad banked one in from the left side after an offensive rebound. And so he had 6 points in the first half on those 2 threes. Auburn led by 7 at the time. Houston, though, closed the first half on a 16-5 run to take a 5-point advantage, 33-28. This is Conecuh halftime, and it's time for the stats from the first 20 minutes of basketball. Auburn shot the ball 48%. Tigers shot the ball better than the Cougars. Houston was 12 of 30, so they got 7 more shots. They made 1 more shot than did Auburn in the first half. Auburn was 3 of 13 from beyond the arc. Houston was 3 of 7. Interestingly, Auburn forced to take the threes. They took over half of their shots from behind the three-point line. 3 of 13 from three-point range, 8 of 10 inside that three-point line in the first half. Free throws, Auburn just 3 of 7. Houston was 6 of 11 in that first half. A couple of the big numbers here. Turnovers, Auburn gave it away 8 times. Houston with 5 turnovers, but points off. +9 for the Cougars, 11-2 in that department. Also rebounding. Auburn with 16 rebounds, Houston with 20, but on the offensive glass, Cougars pulled down 10 offensive rebounds, turned those into 10 second-chance points. Auburn with just 5 offensive rebounds and just 4 second-chance points. So it's a 5-point game, and they had 5 more second-chance opportunities. They have 6 more second-chance points here at the first half. Now, Auburn neutralized some of that with his bench play. Tigers outscoring the Cougars bench 20-7 in the first half. Points in the paint +2 for the Tigers. Fast break +5 for Houston at 7-2. Auburn blocked 5 shots in the first half. Again, the game was tied for 3 minutes and 22 seconds. There were 6 lead changes and 2 ties in the first half. A look at some of the individual numbers. Houston had 8 players score, including L.J. Cryer, who missed several minutes with 2 quick fouls. But he hit back-to-back shots for Houston and led the way with 7. Uzon with 6, 5 for Sharp, and Arsenault, including the 3 there at the final buzzer of the first half. The leading rebounder was Tugler. He had 4 boards for Houston in the first half. Auburn's numbers, just 6 players scored. Chaney Johnson, very strong off the bench for the Tigers. He had 9 points on 3 of 4 shooting, 3 of 5 at the free throw line as well, so he has all of the Tigers' makes at the stripe. Chaney also had 2 rebounds and an assist in that first half of play. Tahad Pettiford off the bench with a half a dozen points. Miles Kelly had 5. Janai Broom with 4 points on just 2 of 5 shooting. Janai and Kelly with 5 field goal attempts each. That's the most of anybody. Again, Auburn only got 23 shots in that first half. Rounding out the scoring for the Tigers, Dylan Cardwell, Denver Jones each had 2 points apiece. Leading rebounder was Janai Broom. He had 3 boards to go with his 4 points. So that all adds up to a 5-point Tiger deficit. Your first half numbers are presented by the Alabama Department of Public Health. Don't wait. Vaccinate. Protect yourself and others by staying current on all recommended vaccines. Visit alabamapublichealth.gov/IMM. Once again, your score at the half, Houston 33, Auburn 28.
You've been listening to Conecuh Halftime. Conecuh is the official sausage dog and hot dog of the Auburn Tigers. Get one on your next visit to Neville Arena or make Conecuh part of your game day wherever you are. The second half is 2 minutes away. This is the Auburn Sports Network. Finish your Auburn football game day with the Regions Bank Postgame Show. For over 30 years, the Regions Bank Postgame Show has been appointment radio for Tiger fans. Get exclusive locker room interviews with players, assistants, and head coach Hugh Freeze. Plus, get expert analysis, a full rundown of SEC and national scores, and a comprehensive highlight package. The Regions Bank Postgame Show on the Auburn Sports Network.
Hey, this is Kevin Tutto, owner of Baumhauer's Victory Grill in Auburn. It's finally fall and football is here. Come check out one of our 77 TVs and watch your favorite team while enjoying hot wings and cold beer. Wanting to support your Auburn Tigers? Well, come join us each and every Monday for Tiger Talk as Coach Freeze joins us live in-house to discuss all things Auburn football. We also have every NFL game for the entire season with the NFL Sunday Ticket. Don't forget Thursday nights and Monday Night Football. Baumhauer's Victory Grill, your football headquarters this fall. 2353 Big Creek Road, exit 57 on I-85. War Eagle.
Nobody beats Cook's Pest Control when it comes to the superior protection against unwanted pests and termites. Cook's knowledgeable and courteous technicians are expertly trained to get the job done right. Guaranteed. Protect your home and business with pest control you can trust. Call Cook's today for your free quote or to schedule a free on-site inspection. Cook's Pest Control.
Looky, 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 here comes Cookie. Cook's Pest Control.
Today's highlight is brought to you by Toyota. At home or on the road, they're never the underdog. Toyota, let's go places. Get 3.99% APR for 36 months on a new 2024 Toyota RAV4 Hybrid. Offer valid through December 2nd, 2024. Zero down for well-qualified buyers with approved credit and financing through Southeast Toyota Finance. $29.52 monthly payment for every $1,000 financed. Excludes tax tag registration, title, and dealer fees. See dealer for details.
At the half, Houston 33, Auburn 28. 3-ball at the buzzer by Terrence Arsenault, giving the Cougars a 5-point lead. A couple look at stats, and you heard Brad Law give the stats. Here's 3 that stand out to me. One is turnovers. Auburn with 8 in the first half to 5 for Houston. Houston turned that into 11 points to Auburn's 2. There's one difference. Second chance points. Houston out-rebounded Auburn on the offensive glass. That's not a big surprise. That's what Houston does. 10 offensive rebounds to Auburn's 5. Outscored Auburn 10-4. Auburn's bench, on the other hand, Randall Dickey, really came through in the first half, outscoring Houston 20-9.
Well, we got a good offensive spark. Pettiford came in and really gave us a nice lift. He and Chaney Johnson. The thing that we didn't do down the stretch, we got a little bit away from our goals, and our goals were to defend without fouling and retrieve the ball off it and dominate the defensive glass. We cannot give Houston second chance opportunities. Lastly, you've got to do a better job executing the offensively, taking the ball from one side of the floor to the other and moving with a purpose, trying to go get a shot and stick it in the basket.
Houston has the ball to open the second half. We're underway. Auburn will go to the basket to our left. Houston leads Auburn by 5, 33-28. Houston basketball at the left wing. Emmanuel Sharp gets a screen, goes baseline. Cut off there by Miles Kelly, who starts the second half. Down the left side of the lane, it goes for Javier Francis against Cardwell. Walked through, or get through the ball right to Pettiford. Here's Auburn on the break. Left wing, Denver Jones. Jones dumps it, low post, Broom, turnaround jumper off the glass.
Beautifully done. Great defensive snuff. They shut them out on the defensive end, and it turned into a nice, easy shot for Broome on the block.
33-30, Houston with the lead. After the basket by Janai Broome, he has 6 points on the night. Francis outside the arc, picked up by Broome. Hands the ball back to Cryer. Cryer picked up by J.P. Pegues. Pull-up jumper by Cryer. It's good.
Good player. He's hard to guard.
Sure
he got
is.
the ball deep. 6 or 8 foot jumper is nothing over the top of someone.
18:59 in the second half. Houston 35, Auburn 30. Tiger basketball, Jones at the top, Cardwell to Denver. Low post, Broome gets fouled, goes up for a shot. And they'll say that the foul was not on the shot. So Auburn has the ball out of bounds.
It's unbelievable. It's on the floor. But the one thing that the Tigers have done, first 2 possessions, they've jammed the ball to the block for Broome. They know he's hard to guard down there. Give him some touches, create fouls, let him score some baskets.
Francis comes out after his second foul. They'll put Tugler underneath. And Auburn will flat it out against this on this inbound pass. Denver Jones will trigger to the corner left side for Kelly. Miles drives all the way to the hole. Up and under. Ball tapped out into the corner for Broome. Drives underneath, gets knocked to the floor. And they call the travel on Broome. Broome got pulled down. Goodness gracious. Holy cow.
I wonder what these guys are looking at.
Houston basketball leading Auburn by 5, 18-40 in the second half. Inbound. Uzan will bring it up the floor in a hurry. Picked up by Pegues. Uzan on the wing. Drives. Pull-up jumper. Uzan scores.
Well, he's an outstanding player. We've got to really keep an eye on him to keep him under control because he orchestrates the band, that's for sure.
7-point lead for Houston. 18-19 in the second half. J.P. Pegues. Top of the circle for Cardwell. Looks underneath. Instead, off the right side, it goes for Pegues. 2 Miles Kelly on the left wing, double team. Out to the top, Pegues, 8 to shoot. Drives to the hole, ball to bat it out of his hand. And a foul is called, I think, on Uzan. It will be his second foul.
Auburn's come out being more on the attack. Both times jammed it to the block for Broome. That time, Pegues took it hard to the basket, and they protected him. And hopefully they'll continue doing that.
And Pegues will go to the free throw line for 2. JP has yet to score tonight. The transfer from Furman. 2-time Southern Conference Tournament first team selection for the Paladins. First of 2 by Pegues is good.
It's always good to get to the free throw line. He hadn't scored in the first half. See that ball go through the basket off the free throw line. Maybe that'll open up a jump shot next time.
That's the lead to 6 at the 18:03 mark of the second half. Pegues again, yes. Trims the lead to 5. Inbound Uzan will bring it up the floor. Nope, it'll be Cryer walking it up the floor for Houston. Walks it across midcourt, hands the ball to Uzan, just outside the center circle. Working on Miles Kelly. They get the ball to the right wing for Cryer. Picked up by Pegues, 13 to shoot. Drives top of the circle, picked up by Broome and a switch. Turns the corner into the lane, up from about 13, good.
He just weaves himself around. We've got to get him under control, do a little bit better job defending him. It would really be nice if we could extend their offense and spread them out. They're getting it close to the basket now.
First player for either team in double figures. L.J. Cryer with 11. Houston by 7. Right wing, Kelly. Head fake at 3. Step back 3. Miles short. Rebound Roberts for Houston. Now Uzan are up the floor. Cross midcourt, gets a screen. Down the right side of the lane, picks up the dribble there. Looking on the wing, gets the ball to Sharp. 7-point Houston lead with the basketball. Cryer, left wing against Miles Kelly. Gets a screen. Dumps it underneath for Roberts. Goes up, ball blocked, and it's going to be a goaltend on Cardwell. 6 points for Roberts. 9-point lead for Houston. 41-32. Tigers got to respond. Auburn with no field goals in the last 2:37. Houston fans come to their feet. Chaney Johnson in at the next break for Auburn. Pegues picked up the dribble. Top of the circle for Broome. Right side Dillon, inside the arc. Drives to the baseline. Whips a pass. Left corner, 3 ball in the air, no. Missed shot. Ball still on the floor. Broome goes to the floor, gets tied up. It's going to be a jump ball and Auburn has the arrow. Bodies on the floor. Well, let's see everyone's okay. Janai slow to get up. Rubbing his right knee. He is up. Auburn on the arrow. Chaney Johnson replaces Dylan Cardwell. Auburn's gone nearly 3 minutes without a field goal. Had a significant scoring spell in the first half. Tigers trail by 9 with 16:31 to go in the second half.
We've had 2 really good three-point shots and looks, but they haven't gone down. We've got to make a couple of those.
Chad Baker-Mazzara in, and he'll replace Miles Kelly. $16:31 in the second. Shot clock resets to 20, and Chaney Johnson will trigger baseline right. Auburn down by 9, need a bucket. 16:31 in the second. Chaney looking for an inbound, gets the ball right side, Broom, whistle foul. I think they just got Roberts.
They did. Yeah. That's quite a battle underneath that basket between Broom and Roberts.
First time around 2 seasons ago, Janai had 14 points, no rebounds. Roberts, 6.7 rebounds. Roberts, 6 points tonight. Janai was 6 points. Inbound in the corner. Chad Baker-Mazzara. Pegues at the top, it's Broom. Underneath Chaney, he knocked the Houston player to the floor and got called for the foul. Second foul on Chaney, another empty possession for Auburn.
I would like to see a replay of that because I did not actually see the actual play, but Chaney sure felt like that something was not quite right.
I didn't see it either. Houston ball, they can take the lead to double figures. Hughes on the inbound, Cryer. Foul, Chad Baker-Mazzara. That's the third foul in CBM. That's going to bring Chris Moore into the lineup. Foul trouble has basically neutralized Chad Baker-Mazzara tonight. He has 8 minutes, 3 fouls, no points. Houston inbound, still looking. Gets the ball inbound.
That's a
Should have
long
been 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Tugler to use on up the floor. They can take the lead to double figures. 41-32. Uzon against J.P. Pegues. Down the lane, falls down. Covers up the ball, jump ball. And it will be the arrow to Houston with 16:08 in the second half.
So back-to-back kind of alternate possession calls right there. I'm not for sure when a player falls down because he didn't move, but he was wiggling around on the floor. Could have been an easy walking call there.
Houston out of bounds, baseline left, 13 to shoot. Uzon will trigger. In the corner, Sharp. Bounce pass, Roberts. Roberts, top of the circle, Cryer. Back to Roberts against Broom. 5 to shoot, 4 to shoot. Fade away, left hand, missed it badly.
Good defense right there. We got the defensive board. Maybe it'll turn into an offensive fast break here.
J.P. Pegues, a screen from Broom. Bounce pass to Janai. Goes down, gets the ball to the wing. Chaney Johnson to the hole, and he missed a double hand dunk. And the ball goes all the way to the other end of the floor and out of bounds. Oh, my goodness. That's on Chaney. Nobody around him. And he hit the back of the iron, and it carried him out of bounds. Timeout on the floor, 15:42 to go. Houston 41, Auburn 32. Take on game day with great taste of Coke Zero Sugar. Is it the best Coke ever? You try and decide. Houston 41, Auburn 32. Stay tuned, Auburn basketball continues in a moment.
I was so excited when I heard this sandwich was back. What's up? This is Mike.
And this is Celia.
And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich
is the symphony of flavors. You can always count on that crispy, tender, juicy chicken. It's so good.
My favorite part is the pimento cheese. Topped off with the honey, it all comes together perfectly. I like the original.
I like the spicy chicken fillet. But either way,
you're getting a winner.
The Chick-fil-A Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich is back with a bite. Try it with the original or spicy filet now for a limited time. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Here's another great reason to use the United States Postal Service this season.
Your boxes are wrapped and the gifts are in. Our employees are ready. Let the holiday ride begin. Let's start with the price. It's easy to manage when you ship with the reliable USPS Ground Advantage. In just a few days, it's sure to arrive. We're working nonstop to keep the spirit alive. USPS Ground Advantage, the affordable and reliable shipping solution for the holidays. Visit USPS.com/advantage.
Whether you're ordering wings for the game, whipping up a 7-layer dip, or ordering pizza, there's something about football that makes you want to eat. And this football season, Uber Eats has the best deals on game day food. No matter what you're craving, from 2-for-1 pizza to buy one, get one wings, Uber Eats will be dropping new deals each week, all season long. Uber Eats, official on-demand delivery partner of the NFL. Order now. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Chick-fil-A is proud to present this broadcast of Auburn basketball. Eat more chicken and more Eagle with Chick-fil-A.
Along with Randall Dickey, Brad Law in our Auburn Sports Network studios. We're at the Toyota Center in Houston, home of Jabari Smith and the Houston Rockets. 15:42 to go in the second half in this battleground 2K24. Auburn trails Houston 41-32. Auburn's gone 2 minutes and 21 seconds without scoring, and we've seen Houston take its largest lead of the game at 9. And after the missed dunk going into the timeout by Chaney Johnson, Houston with another crack to take the lead into double figures for the first time tonight.
Well, the Cougars have been real efficient since the second half, the first 5 minutes. They're 4 for 5 from the field. They've gotten to hadn't got to the free throw line, but they have really executed their offense well. Tigers, on the other hand, 1 for 4.
Yeah.
Missed 2 open threes and a slam dunk that's it's hard to understand how you can shoot down at the rim and miss, but I guess he was so high it just didn't go. But those are 3 baskets that could go in. You got to get a little bit of spark off the bench. Maybe Pettiford, maybe Willis will come in, and Miles will come in, and Kelly will try to get going. So we need a little bit of offensive spark.
It was determined it was not interference. 2 points will be removed from the score for University of Houston.
All right, they have taken 2 points off the score for Houston. Apparently that Auburn got called for a goaltend, and
down here
and they've taken that away. So Houston's lead is 7, 39-32. I'll be.
How that official feels now. He was over here close to UNI when he made that call. If they watch tape.
All right, Houston ball out of bounds. It's a 7-point lead, 39-32. Take away a bucket from Roberts. Inbound near midcourt, Arsenault turns, drives to the free throw line, brings it back out to the top for Cryer. LJ picked up by Moore. Now to Uzon. Back to Cryer, right wing, whistle foul. They got Chris Moore knocking down Arsenault.
It's just as easy as an illegal screen on that, because Tugler was kind of flopped a little bit, but he kind of hipped Chris Moore as he went around that screen.
Houston ball out of bounds again, leading by 7, 39-32. Uzon, midcourt, Tugler. Hands the ball back to Uzon. Thought about handing the ball to Cryer. Now centers it between the circles. Drives to the right wing where he's double teamed. Gets it to the top. Down the left side of the lane, Roberts spins on Broom to the hole, good.
Good player. Janai went to close out, had a little bit of unbalanced angle, and Roberts took advantage of it.
9-point lead again, 41-32, Houston. Pettiford at the point. Double team, wing, and deflected out of bounds by Arsenault. Auburn ball, 16 to shoot, down the right sideline. 15 minutes to go in the second half. It's been over 3 minutes since Auburn scored.
Yeah, if Houston changed strategically then, they're going to double team Pettiford when he has the ball coming off screens.
Jones, right wing 3, that was in the cylinder and rimmed out. Houston gets the rebound. Roberts ahead to Uzon. They can take the lead to double figures. Roberts, left wing, drives on Broom. Knocked away by Broom. Gets it back. Bumps again. Turns. Fade away off the glass. Missed it badly. Rebound saved by Cheney. It comes to Broom. Back to Pettiford. Up the floor. Drives to the hole. Cut off. To the basket with the right or left hand. No. Tap up and in by Broom.
Beautiful offensive rebound by Janai. Right where he should have been. And I'm not for sure that Tahad didn't get fouled or pushed on that floater.
8 points for Janai. 7-point lead for Houston. 41-34. 14-11 in the second half. Pryor down to the baseline. Cut off. Throws it into the corner. Out of bounds. Off of whom? Off of Houston.
Good defense by the Tigers then. It forced the ball baseline. Forced him to jump out of bounds and turn it over.
Kelvin Sampson doesn't agree with that call. Auburn gets it. 14:06 in the second. Tigers have cut the lead to 41-34. Auburn basketball as we approach the 14-minute mark of the second. Pettiford across midcourt. Screen from Cheney. To Cheney. Low post, Broom. Banged, foul. Arsenault, or rather Tugler. Third foul on Joseph Tugler.
It's becoming a strategic game. The ball is in the best player's hands. Janai on one end, Cryer on the other.
Uzon out, Sharp is in. Auburn out of bounds, baseline left. Lob inbounds, Broom double teamed up for the shot. Nobody's fouled. He was fouled going up for the pass. Roberts just picked up his third.
They're just continuing to give him touches.
Yeah, and Janai's telling him Janai wants him to feed him right now.
Well, he's got a size advantage on Roberts, even though Roberts is a wide-bodied big.
Francis in, Tugler comes out. Roberts remains in the game with 3 fouls, 13-54. Inbound, Pettiford runs it down near the top of the circle. 17 to shoot for Auburn, Tigers down 7. Pettiford between the circles, double team. Bounce pass, Broom drives to the hole, jams it!
Beautifully
double
done.
hand slammer!
Great play right there by Tahad. Pettiford, for a freshman, did an awesome job on the double team.
And they backed off of Janai, gave him a lane to the basket. He took advantage.
When they double teamed Pettiford, they left Janai wide open, and Tahad did an outstanding job feeding the ball to Janai.
Auburn witnesses to their feet. Tigers within 5. Drive to the hole. Cryer put it up, missed it. Broom rebounds for Auburn. To Jones. Denver races ahead. Off the right wing. Low post Cheney. Double team. Pull more to the hole. Reverse layup good.
Beautiful job. The Tigers are sharing the ball, moving it from side to side.
And a timeout called by Houston. Auburn has cut the lead to 3. 13:03 to go in the second half. Houston 41, Auburn 38. The experts at Sensagreen with Carrier create a cool indoor retreat for heating, cooling, and insulation. Offering total comfort care for your Tiger family in East Alabama and Huntsville. Visit Sensagreen.com. Carrier, turn to the experts. This is the Auburn Sports Network.
At Auburn University, we're not just learners, we're doers. In every corner of the state, Auburn men and women put knowledge to work, fueling the state's economy and building healthier, more prosperous communities. We partner with local leaders to solve local challenges and create access to opportunities that benefit all. To learn how Auburn's at work in your community, visit auburn.edu/acrossalabama. This message is sponsored by Auburn University, the Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Things we take for granted, ordinary opportunities for parents and their children, can be a foster child's extraordinary. You have the power to do something positive that will change the life of a young person right here in Alabama. Open your heart and open your home to a foster child today. For more information, visit www.dhr.alabama.gov or call 1-866-64-AL-KIDS. Brought to you by the Alabama Department of Human Resources, the Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
The Southeastern Conference. It's the land of legends, the places, the faces, and moments.
And he's going for it. It's a touchdown!
We've seen the confetti fall again and again. We're not done. It's time for the next generation to make their mark and go from 14 deep to 16 strong. It's a whole new ball game in the SEC, and it just means more.
Brad Law in the Auburn Sports Network studios. Yellowwood scoreboard, only 3 other basketball games of any kind going on throughout the country. Nevada leads Washington 46-44 midway through second half. San Francisco leads Boise State early second half 38-32. All the SEC football action is final. Missouri got a scoop and score with 30 seconds to go to break a tie and beat Oklahoma 30-23. So after all the day's action in the SEC, Texas A&M, final month of the regular season. It's the first month of the basketball regular season. Tigers on a run, hoping to keep the momentum going after a Houston timeout. Let's go back to the Toyota Center. Voice of the Tigers, Andy Burcham, and Coach Randall Dick.
Brad, it's a 6-0 run by Auburn. The Tigers have hit their last 3 shots in 1 minute and 24. Houston has gone 2 minutes and 13 seconds without scoring. And Auburn has trimmed what was once a 9-point lead, Randall Dickey, down to 3.
Great strategic move of the staff. The insertion of Tahad Pettiford changed the energy level. He also made a great offensive move on the drag screen. He got double teamed. Made a great pass back to Janai. Gave a wide open dunk shot by him. On the next consecutive possession, the Tigers played sensational defense. Retrieved the ball off the glass. It turned into a nice feed for Chris Moore layup. Gave us some energy.
Yeah.
That's Tiger basketball right there.
L.J. Cryer with an uncharacteristic miss.
It was. It was.
And Auburn took advantage.
He is one of those players, and I know that everyone can see through the radio, but he is one of those players that every time he turns it loose, it looks like it's going to go in.
It sure does. He is 4 of 6 in the field, 11 points. Janai Broom, 10 points, 7 rebounds. Janai, 5 of 8 from the field. Down 3, Auburn goes to defense. Cryer will trigger. Uzon is out right now at the point.
Next 6 minutes is really big for this 13-minute mark. Down to the 7-minute mark is going to be big.
Cryer takes over at the point with Uzon getting a rest. Cryer works on Chris Moore. Kicks it right wing. Drive to the hole, bump, and a foul on Miles Kelly. He just never got in front.
That was a smart play by Houston. It was a called special play out of a timeout. Isolated Chris Moore and drove on him, drew the foul.
I believe they called that on Kelly, and that is his 3rd.
Oh, they did call it on Kelly.
Sure did. 12:50 in the second. Houston by 3 with the basketball. Inbound. In the corner, Arsenault. To Roberts. Top of the circle, Sharp. Pull up from 15. No. Rebound tapped, and it comes to Chaney Johnson.
Good back-to-back shutouts defensively. Turn into an offensive play right here.
Pettiford drives to the hole, hang, shoots, scores!
Oh, man, what a shot. He went with his offhand that time to the other side of the basket, and a great lay-in by Pettiford.
8-0 run by Auburn has cut the lead to 1. Cal 23, second half of play. Cryer outside the arc against Miles Kelly, gets a screen. Pull up from 15, Cryer. No, rebound, dunk. Coming down the lane by Tugler. Auburn didn't box out.
Everything was created off the ball screen for L.J. Cryer. We did not cover that very well, and it opened up the alley for the offensive putback.
Down 3, Auburn ball, 43-40, 12 minutes to go second half. Kelly between the circles, Chaney Johnson. Back to the wing, Kelly. Whistle. And we've got I think a wet spot on the floor, just the left side of the lane.
Got a media below the 12, Andy.
We're going to get a timeout, and they will wipe up the perspiration on the left side of the Auburn lane. 11:55 to go in the second half. Houston 43, Auburn 40. Stay tuned, Auburn basketball continues in a moment.
It's a great day to get vaccinated. Many children and adults that delayed vaccination during the pandemic are still behind schedule. It is crucial that we take the steps to get everyone back on track with their routine immunizations. Children and teens can still catch up on their vaccinations even if they start late. Make sure you and your family are up to date on all recommended vaccines, including respiratory virus vaccine. Let's all do our part to get back on track. Don't wait. Vaccinate. For more information, visit alabamapublichealth.gov/IMM.
Recognized by Newsweek as one of America's best maternity care hospitals, East Alabama Health provides comprehensive treatment for mothers and babies throughout Auburn, Opelika, and the East Alabama region. And starting with the 2024 football season, we're pleased to partner with Auburn Athletics to provide a special Aubie blanket to each baby born at our hospital through a program we call Tiger Tots. For all your maternity care needs, trust the experts at East Alabama Health.
You've created a comfortable home office. Now let Carrier provide the cash bonus. For a limited time, you can claim up to $1,550 in cool cash rebates on a qualified Carrier home comfort system. There's never been a better time to upgrade to year-round premium comfort and energy savings. Carrier, turn to the experts.
Cook's Pest Control presents Protect the Perimeter. Call Cook's Pest Control to guard your home and business from pests and termites.
11:55 to go in the second half. Auburn ball leading or trailing by 3. Houston has led by as many as 9 in the second half. Auburn has trimmed the lead to 1 in the second half. From the perimeter, neither team exactly lighting it up. Auburn 3 of 16 from 3. Houston 3 of 7. The Cougars haven't attempted a three-pointer in the second half.
Well, one thing that it's hard to get a shot when both teams are playing sensational on defense. Physically, they're playing with their hands, their feet, their body checking, and it is hard to get a shot. But one thing I would like to say is I think we're watching Tahad Pettifer grow up right before our eyes. He has made some sensational plays. That drive from the left side all the way across to the right side of the rim, using his offhand he's a left-handed shooter, used his right hand to lay it in. Was really a beautiful play.
Pettifer did not score Wednesday against Vermont. He has 8 points tonight. He's 3 of 6 from the field, a couple rebounds and an assist.
Well, it's going to be a little bit like that, I think, as his freshman year, but he is really an outstanding player, and it's going to be fun to watch.
Auburn's 7th McDonald's All-American. By the way, the double-digit night for Janai Broome, the 28th consecutive. He has 29 of those at Auburn, 60 in his career. Auburn down 3 with the ball. Pettiford off a pass from Chaney Johnson. Left side of the key. Gets a screen from Broome, double team. Left wing Chaney. Looking underneath, drives. Gets bumped. Fadeaway, Chaney Johnson, no. And the rebound pulled in by Sharp.
Forced that just a little bit. He kind of got hung up in traffic and went ahead and took the shot.
Ooh, Sharp had a 3, didn't take it. And Uzon back into the ball game, takes over at the point. Houston by 3, 11:27 in the second half. Uzon to Roberts, working on Broome. Outside the arc, top of the circle for Tugler. Tugler wants to get rid of it. Whistle and a foul. It's going to go against Pettiford as he knocked Sharp to the floor. And that's the 3rd foul on Tahad. They were battling off the board or off the ball. 3rd foul on Tahad Pettiford. Baker Mazzara, Pettiford, and Kelly all with 3 fouls for Auburn.
This might be a good change to give Janai a break. Let him get some water. Let the energy level of Cardwell help us a little bit.
Cryer, Sharp, Cryer, 3 ball. Nope, weak side rebound Pettiford. Racing ahead on the break, lobs it underneath, and Moore missed the dunk, and he's hurt.
Wow.
And here is Houston the other way. Uzon into the lane, head fake, kicks it out to the top for Sharp. 3-point game, 10:53 second half. Houston with the lead in the ball. Uzon gets a screen, 3 ball. Uzon missed it off the right side. Rebound on the weak side for Roberts. Drives on Cardwell, up with the left hand, it's good.
Get the second opportunities. Houston is really good about getting the ball in the basket after an offensive rebound.
12th offensive rebound in the ball game for Houston. They're up 5. 10:40 or 30 to go in the second half. Auburn basketball. Dylan Cardwell, top of the circle. To Pettiford, whistle and a foul away from the ball. Of course, Pettiford knocks home a 3. The foul goes against Houston. I think it's Arsenault. I think. Nope.
I was watching the offense then. That was a really good series. They made Houston's defense move from one side of the floor to the other twice.
They got Uzon's 3rd foul there, Randall.
That's really good down the stretch with 10 minutes to go. They're going to have to they're going to have to consider taking him out of the game.
Miles Kelly will trigger baseline left. Bounce pass, Chad Bacon-Mazar. To the wing, Pettiford. 3-ball Pettiford. Knocks it home!
Holy cow, that was right over the top of Cryer. What a three-point shot.
Cuts the lead to 2. 10-11 in the second half. Houston 45, Auburn 43. Cryer, top of the circle, Roberts. Right wing for Sharp, back underneath for Roberts against Cardwell. Spins up with it, yes, and a foul on Cardwell.
They've kind of isolated. Dylan's kind of lost his magic right there. He's a much better defender than what he's done the last 2 possessions.
And a chance at the three-point play for Juwan Roberts, who has 10 points on the night. He has scored the last 2 times down the floor for Houston. And a chance for a three-point play for Roberts, who has yet to miss from the free throw line this season. Back and forth we go. 47-43 Houston. Roberts at the line for the and one. Left-hand shooter, in and out. Rebound Auburn. 47-43 Houston. Pettiford penetrates down the lane, lobs it up there, scores!
Went coast to coast off the rebound. That's outstanding.
13 tonight for Pettiford. Cuts the lead to 2. 9:44 in the second half. Cryer, top of the circle. Uzon, Cryer, left wing. Had a 3, didn't take it. Back to Uzon at the top. 17 to shoot for Houston. 2-point lead, Cougars. Uzon straight away. Picked up by Chaney Johnson and a foul underneath. It's going to go against Miles Kelly. And that's the 4th on Miles.
Well, they're just playing so hard. They're trying to isolate Cryer and Uzon together.
Broom and Jones in. Kelly and who coming out? Auburn a little bit. It is whom? Somebody's got to come out.
We got to get
Dylan.
Cardwell. Yep.
Yeah, Cardwell comes out. And Tugler is at the line for a couple. His first free throw attempts of this young season. Find your piece of paradise on the Alabama Gulf Coast with Mindy Jones of Remax Paradise. Visit mindy@paradise.com. Tugler's free throw is good. Houston by 3. 9:29 to go in the second half of play. Number 1 and 2 teams in the country, according to the Ken Pom poll, going at each other tonight. Houston by 3, 48-45. Tugler's next free throw, good as well. Back to a 4-point Houston lead.
Every possession is valuable down the stretch. 9:23 left.
Hot Pettiford, Broom at the top. Janai, one dribble now to Pettiford. Double team stays out of it. Chad Bacon-Mazar. Low post pass. Chaney got smacked. And he goes to the line for a couple. He almost made a circus shot. But he'll go to the line to shoot 2 for the Tigers, I think. No. I think they're going to make it a 1-and-1. They'll say he wasn't in the act of shooting.
Yeah, he got bumped off the receiving the pass. But one thing that is really strategic, Houston is trapping Pettiford. They're trying to get it out of his hands.
That's Uzon's 4th foul. And he comes out of the ball game.
Well, he's done till about the 4-minute mark.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Chaney Johnson, a 1 and bonus for Auburn. Tigers trail by 4, 9:13 in the second. Chaney got the free throw to fall.
Right now is a good time to start nibbling away because it's pretty well proven that Houston's a much better team with Uzon in the game.
10 points tonight for Chaney. 1 of 3 in double figures for the Tigers tonight. Second free throw. Yes.
This is a spark. Let's pick up our defensive energy. Really make it hard on them because they're without their point guard.
Yes, they are. Sharp hands the ball to Malik Wilson, who'll bring it up the floor. Their starter, Uzon, on the bench with 4 fouls. Cryer, left side. Back to the top for Wilson. Gets bumped. Drives on Pettiford. Fade away by Wilson. No! Rebound touched out of bounds by Houston, and Auburn gets it. Well,
so there's no foul on that?
Yeah, Tugler came in, knocked 2 of the Auburn players down. Auburn gets the ball down 2.
I know we're in Texas, but this is not horseback riding. It's unbelievable.
Auburn down 2 with the ball, 8:48 on a county clock in the second. Hot Pettiford, left wing, Denver Jones. Top of the circle for Chaney. Back to the wing, Denver. Low post, Broom. To the hole, we're tied!
Beautiful set play, beautiful call play by the bench. Little cross screen to get Broom open, and nice play. They could have had it good. He got fouled on that one.
Tied at 49.
Yes.
8:27 second half.
All right. Get after it defensively right here and put us.
Pryor on the right wing for Houston. Working on Pettiford. Down the lane. Drive to the hole. Tugler to open a foul. They found a crease down the right side of the lane.
Boy, you talk about two magical Hall of Fame coaches.
Yeah, you're right.
Really working.
Yeah, you are right.
The weaknesses of each end of the floor. One-on-one end gets his best player the ball. Broom scores. One on the other end takes it to the basket. That was a good play by Houston there.
Janai's third foul sends Tugler to the line for 2 more for Houston, where he is 2 of 2 tonight. We're tied at 49, 8:17 to go in the second half. Free throw by Tugler, good.
He's been pretty good there.
Houston tonight, 9 of 15 from the charity stripe. 3 of 4 in the second half. 1 point lead for Houston. Tugler can make it 2 with 8:17 to go in the second half. And he does. He's got a nice touch.
He doesn't really score perimeter-wise, but he sure makes free throws, doesn't he?
8 points tonight, 4 of those coming from the free throw line. Down 2, Auburn ball. Pettiford at the top, Chaney to Broom. A 3 for the lead. No. Rebound, Chaney Johnson. Saves it. Broom, or at the top. Pettiford a 3 for the lead. No. Rebound. Roberts goes down. He was out of bounds. That's Auburn ball. Sure enough.
Wow. They need to wipe a lot of sweat up because there was a lot of players chasing that ball down.
And a timeout on the floor. Auburn down 2. 7:56 to go, second half. Auburn trails 51-49 to Houston. Stay tuned. This is the Auburn Sports Network.
Eagle 102.3 is your East Alabama and Midwest Georgia's country music leader,
playing the top hits from the hottest artists.
Download our Eagle 102.3 app so you can listen to us whenever and wherever. Listen to your favorite country artists, stay up to date on your favorite college football team,
War Eagle,
and catch our local high school football broadcasts, all from our app. Available on Apple and the Google Play Store. For more information, visit our website, eagle1023.com, or find our link tree on Instagram at WELR Eagle.
If I was to describe this sandwich in one word, I would say magical. Hi, this is Jamor, and the little thing that I love about the Chick-fil-A honey pepper pimento chicken sandwich is that extra oomph. I go back and forth from the spicy filet to the original filet. I get into the sweetness of the honey, then you have the extra kick from the spicy filet. The combination alone takes it over the top. It's award-winning.
The Chick-fil-A Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich is back with a bite. Try it with the original or spicy filet, now for a limited time. Real guests paid for their testimonial.
Welcome back to the Ford F-Series Highlight Show. I've seen a lot of basketball, and I can tell you that to stay on top, you got to adapt, stay focused, and innovate. That's what wins championships. That's how Ford F-150 and the Ford Super Duty stay at the top of the truck game. For 47 consecutive years, Ford F-Series has been America's #1 selling truck because they deliver what you need to win the day. For the latest offers, go to buyfordnow.com or see your local Ford dealer today. Tell them Coach Pearl sent you.
Based on 1977 to 2023 CY industry reported total sales.
Seven minutes and 56 seconds to go in the battleground 2K24 in Houston, Texas at the Toyota Center. Auburn trails Houston 51-49. Houston led by as many as 9 in the second half. A couple cracks to take that lead into double figures, couldn't do so. Auburn has come back to tie it, has not had the lead in the second half of play. It's a second half, it's a game that has had 6 lead changes and has been tied 3 times in this ball game.
One big stat, Auburn has out-rebounded in the second half 11-7. Now overall, both teams are at 27 total offensive rebounds, so always, anytime that you can get a little bit of a nudge.
I hesitate to say it, but I feel I must. At least until the 7:56 mark of the second half, Auburn has done a better job keeping Houston away from the offensive glass here in the second half of play.
Well, a big feather in Auburn's hat. Their perimeter defense have been sensational. I hate to say it, but I will. They have yet to make a 3-point shot in the second half.
How long does Uzon stay on the bench with 4 fouls?
It depends on if Auburn can make a run and get a lead. I said at the 13-minute mark, the next 6 minutes is going to be important. This next minute is really important because of that factor right there. Will they bring him back before the 4-minute median?
No. Well, they're not bringing him in after this timeout.
No, they can't afford to right now.
Auburn ball out of bounds, 20 to shoot for the Tigers. Down 2 to Houston, 7:56 to go in the second half. Chad Baker-Mazzara will trigger. Auburn flattens it up against the baseline.
It's about time for us to score off an inbounds play here.
Inbound Broom turns up with the left hand, missed it. And the rebound pulled in by Houston. May have been blocked.
We got what we wanted, it just didn't go down.
Yep. And Cryer will bring it up the floor. Watch out for Cryer here. Cryer works against Denver Jones. Bounce pass, and it's kicked at the free throw line by Auburn. 19 to shoot for Houston. Excuse me, they'll give them the extra second, 20 now.
They're going to put the ball in Cryer's hand. He was running the point that time, trying to create a drag screen at the top of the key to free him up.
He has the ball between the circles. Drives right side off of a screen. Working on Chaney Johnson. Backing up just a couple steps. Down the right side, right back to Cryer. Long three, in and out. Rebound Chaney Johnson for Auburn. Down 2 Auburn ball. Chaney across midcourt. Centers it, gets the ball to Pettiford. Pettiford straight away backs up into the center circle. Down 2 Auburn ball, 20 to shoot. 7-12 in the second half. Pettiford works to the left side of the screen. Kicks it right wing for Chaney. Into the corner, Chad Baker. Skip pass, Jones, 10 to shoot. Down to the baseline. Steps, lobs underneath.
Beautiful.
Turnaround jumper, Broom. Yes.
Nice pass. Great assist by Denver Jones.
Oh, and a near steal by Chad Baker off the inbound pass. Couldn't quite handle it, knocked it out of bounds.
Auburn energy level is much higher. Houston is certainly lost without Uzan.
We're tied at 51 with 6:54 in the second. Auburn has not led in this second half. And Cryer will bring it up the floor for the Cougars. 6:47 on a counting clock in the second. Cryer at the top, it's Roberts. Roberts drives free throw line, lobs it up there and scores. Auburn backed off of it.
Oh, he's been a good player tonight. He's been effective rebounding and scoring the basket.
Down 2 Auburn ball, 6.5 minutes to go. Chad Baker-Mazzara right wing, top of the circle Chaney. Left wing Denver. Whistle and a foul away from the ball is going to go against Houston as we pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Auburn Sports Network. That foul was against Joseph Tugler, his 4th. He comes out. Javier Francis is back in for Houston.
And one thing strategically, Houston's really had a hard time. That block cross screen to get Broom the ball.
Free throw by Janai, short.
Way to make those.
Yeah, Houston ball. That's Auburn's first miss from the free throw line in the second half. Houston by 2 with the ball. Head fake, right wing, 3 ball sharp. Yes.
Oh, 2 mistakes back to back. We missed a free throw right there. Made a poor closeout on the 3-point shot against Sharp. Man.
Down to 5. Auburn calls a timeout at the 6:02 mark of the second half of play.
I think that's one thing Coach Pearl is going to emphasize. In games of this magnitude and at this level, the little things are so important to do.
This is a full timeout, 6:02 to go. Houston 56, Auburn 51. SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be a part of all the celebrations this season. Whether you're buying or selling basketball tickets, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek, the official ticketing partner of the Tigers. Expect the unexpected. SeatGeek. Auburn basketball continues in a moment.
Damaging an underground utility can cause a lot more problems than you think. By causing a potentially avoidable damage to underground utilities, there's many scenarios that do not end well. To keep the gas, power, water, and internet running, using 811 to have your underground utilities marked is a critical piece of the damage prevention process, whether you're a homeowner or an excavator. It's free, it's simple, and it's the law. Visit al811.com for more information.
Hey, this is Kevin Tutto, owner of Baumhauer's Victory Grill in Auburn. If It's finally fall and football is here. Come check out one of our 77 TVs and watch your favorite team while enjoying hot wings and cold beer. Wanting to support your Auburn Tigers? Well, come join us each and every Monday for Tiger Talk as Coach Freeze joins us live in-house to discuss all things Auburn football. We also have every NFL game for the entire season with the NFL Sunday Ticket. Don't forget Thursday nights and Monday Night Football.
Let's have Brad
Victory Grill, your football
get ready for a report at the -4 timeout coming up, okay?
On I-85. War Eagle.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever?
He said something.
Listen,
You coming in? Wait, let me just
hear those bubbles? Was waterfall? Well, that's cold. And zero sugar. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever?
Me, right
Try
now.
and decide.
Okay.
Hi, this is Coach Hugh Freeze. Tackle game day with the irresistible taste of Coke Zero Sugar. Is it the best Coke ever? Try and decide. War Eagle.
Keep it here after the game for the Regions Bank postgame show with final stats and analysis, plus comments from Coach Pearl. Now back to the game.
Play has resumed. A 3-ball from the right corner by Pettiford cuts the lead to 2 again. 5:33 in the second half. 56-54. Houston with the ball. Roberts drives on Broom down the left side. Blocked by Janai. Saved by Janai. Auburn on their way down by 2. Chad Baker-Mazar leaves on the wing for Pettiford. Baseline, loses the ball, gets it to Cheney at the top. Chad Baker at 3. Yes! And Auburn has the lead!
Chad Baker.
The three-point maker gives Auburn its first lead of the second half.
This is huge right here.
57-56 Auburn. 5 minutes to go in the second. Down to the wire in Houston.
Keep the defense up.
Drive to the hole. Reach in foul on Cheney Johnson. Working defensively on Javier Francis.
And guess who is trotting to the scores table to check in?
It is Milos Uzan. Uzan will come in, 4 fouls in all. He replaces Wilson. And Francis at the line, a 1 in bonus for Houston. Rebounding in the ball game. Auburn 30, Houston 29. Boy, every rebound is important now, isn't it? Francis free throw. It's good.
It sure is. Every possession.
That ties the game at 57. 4:55 in the second half.
You know, one of the things that's really for the young season is you've got to have not only a high-level defense, high-level offense, but you better have a high level of concentration on what's going on.
Houston now 6 of 7 from the free throw line. Francis knocks home both. Houston by 1. 4:52 in the second half. The freshman to Hod Pettiford. Top of the circle for Broom. To the left wing, Denver Jones. Pettiford at the top. Pull up underneath. Broom to the hole with the 2-hand slam.
It is Broom, Pettiford, 1-2 punch, hard to guard. That high pick and roll has really been effective this second half.
Houston basketball down 1. Uzan foul. And a foul against, I'm not certain.
Chad Baker.
Chad Baker-Mazar is 4th. And they're back at the free throw line.
Well, the biggest negative of that, you're up 59-58, and when you foul, now all of a sudden they're going to the free throw line. You got 2 free throws. You got to win a couple of possessions to give yourself a chance to increase the lead.
Sharp at the line. Free throw's good.
Boy, he's had a good night as well. He can score that ball. He's a kind of a stat stuffer.
Ties the ball game. Sharp gives him the lead. Houston 60, Auburn 59 after the free throws by Sharp. Auburn basketball. Chad Baker, Cheney at the top. 2 Broom outside the arc. 1 dribble at the top. Pettiford's 3 away straight. Yes!
That was deep. That was a logo 3. He is fearless.
5 threes tonight. Auburn by 2. 4:05 in the second half. Auburn 62. Houston 60. Biggest lead in the second half for the Tigers. Houston basketball, Uzan to Cryer. Down the lane. Fade away from 14. No. Rebound tapped. Out of bounds. Off of Houston. Auburn ball. Auburn ball. Timeout. With 3:49 to go. The under 4 timeout. Auburn with the ball. And a 2-point lead. Auburn 62. Houston 60. Let's get a report. Other action throughout the SEC tonight. We send it to our Auburn Sports Network studios. Here is Brad Law.
All right, Andy, thank you. Just to recap here what happened earlier today in the SEC. 12th-ranked Tennessee took care of Louisville on the road, 77-55. Volunteers shot 56% from the floor. They're 2-0 on the season. A note we had in pregame, they don't face a ranked opponent in the non-conference schedule. They start SEC play against 3 teams currently ranked in the top 25, but nothing until then. Again, a 22-point win for the Volunteers at Louisville today. Number 23, Kentucky, got 20 points from Kobe Brea to beat Bucknell 100-72. Mark Pope's first season as the head coach of Big Blue Nation, and they hit 100 in back-to-back games to start the season. First time that's happened since 1978. John Calipari's debut as the Arkansas head coach, he suffered his first loss today. Baylor beat up on the Hogs 72-67 in Dallas. The game was tied at 44 early in the second half, and then Baylor went on a run and kept Arkansas at arm's length from there. That's what's happened in the SEC today. Tomorrow, a couple of SEC teams will be in action, including Vanderbilt playing host to Southeast Missouri State. Georgia also looking for a 2-0 start to the season tomorrow as well when they host Texas Southern. And LSU looks for a 2-0 start as they play host to Alabama State. LSU will hope for a better basketball result tomorrow than they had a football result today. It is coming down to the wire. Auburn by 2 with the ball. 3:47 to go at the Toyota Center. Andy Burcham, Randall Dickey still going 100 miles an hour as the Tigers try to close out the game in the spotlight for all of America in college basketball today. Andy, back to you.
All right, Brad, thanks. It has been played like the game in the spotlight in college basketball tonight.
There's not any doubt. It's a extremely high level, way above the rim, way outside the three-point line, with lots of physicality in between.
How about 19 points from Tahad Pettiford tonight? 5 threes, 2 more field goals. He's 7 of 11 from the field, 5 of 8 from 3. Has added 3 rebounds and 2 assists in 20 minutes of action. 19 points in 20 minutes. And the Tigers have a 2-point lead and the basketball with 3:49 to go in the second half.
I sure have enjoyed his look out on the floor. He looks just like he really belongs. His presence on the floor, they've tried 2 different ways to defend him. They've tried to switch, they've tried to trap him, and he has been effective against both and against a really good defensive team in Houston. But I'd like to see him hit about 3 more baskets down this stretch.
Thank you very much. I'd take that in a heartbeat. Next action for Auburn, Kent State at Neville Arena. 7 o'clock start. We're on the air at 6:30. Don't forget, back at Baumhauer's Victory Grill for Tiger Talk on Monday. Our guests include Hugh Freeze and Karen Hoppe, Auburn's soccer coach. Tiger ball up to Pettiford. Right-hand dribble. Bounce pass, Broom between the circles. Left-hand dribble, gets the ball to Pettiford. They jump out on him. Low post for Janai. Up, got it!
Beautifully done. Great play after a timeout. Isolated Broom on the one-on-one, and he stuck it in the basket.
18 for Broom. 8 rebounds for Janai. Auburn by 4. 3:22 in the second half. Right wing Uzon down to the baseline. Underneath the basket. Underneath shot is up. It's missed by Tugler, but he is fouled on the play.
Good play, but it was an assist off of Uzon. Milos is really hard to guard. He makes Houston better.
Foul, the 4th of the night for Broom. And Tugler at the line for 2. As a team, Houston 14 of 20 from the line tonight, 8 of 9 in the second half.
This is where Janai's experience, the number of trips up and down the floor in this type of game, being able to be smart, not pick up a cheap 5th foul.
Tugler gets a couple. 8 points on the night, half of those from the charity stripe. First free throw is good.
That young man has brought energy tonight. He's been relentless on the glass, keeping balls alive around the rim.
Redshirt sophomore who played his high school basketball here in Houston at Cypress Falls.
The thing that he has done against the Tigers tonight is he's made free throws.
He is 6 of 8 from the line tonight. Cuts the lead to 2 again. 3:10 in the second half. Broom near midcourt. to Jones, to Pettiford. Double team. Left side, Shaker Mazzara underneath for Broom. Janai up the glass.
Yes,
yes, and a foul.
For 3.
Yes, and a foul.
What a lead pass by Chad Baker Mazzara. Feathered that ball deep in the low post, right where it had to be for Janai to lay it in.
14 assists for Auburn tonight. 11 have come in the second half, Randall.
On 26 baskets.
The foul is against Roberts, his 4th. Janai up the line, a chance for a 5-point Auburn lead at the 3-minute mark.
This is big. Make this.
Free throw by Janai. Short.
Get the offensive rebound.
Rebound comes to Houston.
I always want to get the odd even if you can late when you're on the road.
Cryer left wing. Bounce pass for Uzon. 18-footer Uzon. Good.
Wow.
Timeout, Houston. Stops the clock with 2:47 to go in the second half. And Auburn with a 2-point lead. Timeout, a 30 called by Houston.
Strategic time for both coaches. Auburn Tigers offensively going to come out of a timeout. They're going to run a set play. What will Houston do defensively? Will they change their defensive strategy of trap?
They've doubled. They've trapped at the top. Auburn has stayed out of that trap, Randall.
Pettiford has picked them apart on it. Now, will they go back and switch? Will they stay with the trap? Or will they stay home and just guard their own man? That's the thing strategically that Houston has to make. The thing that Auburn has to do is come down, execute, get the ball to the rim, let Janai get a touch.
Broom, Cheney, Chad Baker, Denver, and Tahad Pettiford, the Auburn 5. Uzon, Cryer, Roberts, Tugler, and Sharp for Houston. Auburn by 2, 2:47 to go, second half. Auburn ball. Full length of the floor to go. No pressure until midcourt. Here comes Tahad Pettiford up the floor. Huge possession for Auburn. 2:42 and counting. Auburn up 2. Pettiford at the top. Onto the right wing, Chad Baker. Back Pettiford. Top of the circle, Johnson. 17 to shoot, Pettiford. Backs it up. Into the center circle. 13 to shoot. Drives down the left side of the lane. Pull up from 12. It's no good.
Wow,
Rebound.
what a rebound. What a rebound.
Falls down and throws it away.
Get pushed.
Here is Houston the other way. Auburn by 2. Up the floor, Uzon. Kicks it to the corner. Free ball, Sharp. Yes, in the lead. My goodness, what a big shot by Emmanuel Sharp.
Come from another assist from Uzon. Drove, penetrated, sucked the defense in, kicked it out to Sharp for a 3.
Pettiford on the right-hand dribble. Top of the circle, Chad Baker Mazzara. Puts it on the floor, 15 to shoot. Spins at the free throw line down the lane. Up on the left hand. Good! Auburn by 1.
Nice spin move. It's seesawing back and forth.
1:45 in the second half.
Who's going to get the break? Deflection. Defensive stand right
Auburn
here.
68. Houston 67. Houston basketball. Cryer. Bounce pass Roberts. Right-hand dribble Roberts. Drives to the hole. Underneath. Didn't get it. Rebound Cheney Johnson for Auburn. Outlet to Pettiford. Auburn 5-on-4 the other way with the lead. Chad Baker Mazzara near the corner right side. Bounce past Cheney. Ball stripped out of his hand by Roberts. And here's Houston the other way. 1:17 and counting in the second half.
Same mentality as the possession before. Got to get a defensive stop right here.
Cryer just inside midcourt. 19 to shoot. Auburn by 1. 1:04 in the second half. Cryer off the left side. Oh, one more stop, Auburn. One more stop. Right wing Sharp. Gets a screen. Gets the ball to Roberts.
Loose
ball
ball.
is loose. Cheney Johnson has it. Ball still loose. Still loose. Chad Baker Mazzara knocked to the floor. Uzon just fouled out. That's the 5th foul on Milos Uzon. Auburn ball by 1. 49.5 seconds to go in the second half. That loose ball, finally, Chad Baker picked it up. Uzon knocked him to the floor.
What a great series to show the team on tape, to show all the young people out there how great effort, and when that ball is on the floor, you must sacrifice your body, lay out, and get your hands on it, and the Tigers did that.
Uzon just fouled out for Houston. They will go to Arsenault, and I'm guessing that we'll see Cryer just take over with the basketball. Nope, it'll be Wilson to come in.
Well, it's going to be interesting. It's 49 seconds. You've got majority 3 possessions left in this game.
Chad Baker-Mazara a year ago was 87% from the free throw line. He was the 4th best in the SEC. He gets 2 right here with 49.5 seconds to go in the second half, and Auburn leading by 1. Lefty free throw. Got it. It rattled in. Auburn by 2. 49.5 seconds to go. Auburn 69, Houston 67.
Auburn is still 1 defensive stop away from making it a free throw fest down the stretch.
Come on, Chad Baker. The free throw maker.
Yes. Yes.
And Auburn leads by 3, and a timeout on the floor with 49.5 seconds to go. And Auburn leads 70-67. The Tigers called this timeout to set up the defense. You've got to think the ball's going to come into Cryer at some point.
Well, there's not any doubt. There's going to be a ball screen high. They're going to try to rub Cryer's man off to try to create him a shot, or they're going to put it in his hands, allow him to create his own shot and try to attack the basket. They won't pressure themselves to try to get a three-point shot real quick. They want to get a quick basket because time is against them at 49 seconds left, down 3. They've got to have 2 possessions where Auburn gets 1 shutout, retrieves the ball off the glass, forces Houston to foul, make the free throws, and win going away.
Janai Broom a rebound away from his 60th career double-double. It will be Pettiford, Denver Jones, Chad Baker-Mazara, Chaney Johnson, and Janai Broom. For Houston, Wilson, Cryer, Sharp, Tugler, and Roberts. Full length of the floor to go for Houston. Auburn by 3, 49.5 seconds to go.
They have not changed their strategy the entire game. They are pressing. They're going to put pressure on the floor. The one thing they don't want to do is let a guy get behind them and race out and get an easy lay-in.
All 10 players on Auburn's side of the floor as Auburn presses.
They're just going to make it hard for them to get it in and try to keep the ball from Cryer.
The inbound to Sharp.
Make him handle it. He doesn't want to.
They're going to leave it to Wilson to bring up the floor. 43 seconds to go. Auburn by 3. Houston ball. Wilson way out of the wing. Top of the circle for Cryer. Picked up by Denver Jones. Drives down the lane. Pull-up jumper. Short. Rebound. Roberts lost it. Chad Baker-Mazara with the rebound. Get rid of the ball, Chad Baker. 27 seconds to go. Ahead to Denver Jones.
Keep the ball moving.
Auburn by 3. Denver drives and fouled by Cryer. Fouled by Cryer. Denver goes to the line for 2. A chance at a 2-possession game with 22.9 seconds to go. And that 2,500 Auburn witness group on their feet in Houston.
It's been a while since we've heard those Tigers in the stands. They've just been outmatched, but the Cougars are quiet and the Tigers are loud.
Knock home these free throws, Denver Jones. A career 86.8% free throw shooter. Cryer had a wide open look from 5 feet and short-armed it.
Did he not?
All right, first free throw, Denver. 4-point lead for Auburn with 22.9 to go.
That's 2 possessions for sure for Houston. He makes this one, it's still 2 possessions, but the Tigers, the longer they make Houston handle the ball, the clock is against them.
5-point lead for Auburn as Jones knocks them both home. His first points of the second half. Auburn by 5. Cryer up the floor with 20 seconds to go. Cryer, top of the circle, spins, 3-ball Cryer. No good, no good. Rebound underneath, out to the wing. They get to Cryer on the left wing. Penetrates to the hole and scores. And that'll be a timeout for Houston with 8.6 seconds to go. Cryer cuts the lead to 3. Auburn's just got to get the ball inbound and hold on to the basketball.
Well,
with 8.6 seconds to go, this is a full timeout. We'll keep it right here.
It's beautifully done. Both teams want an effort by Cryer, but what an effort by Auburn. We just weren't as fortunate that possession, but the possession before. How about the effort by Chad Baker-Mazara to come up with that rebound?
Houston got an offensive board, though, and Cryer knocked it home. Auburn smart not to foul him. And now 8.6 seconds to go. Miles Kelly will come into the game for Auburn. Auburn just get the ball inbound and hold on to the basketball at this point.
The biggest thing, get it in bounds and protect it.
Yeah.
They're going to foul you.
Yes.
And they're going to foul you physically. Don't let a little knock affect you. Be strong with the basketball. Run your hands into the ball. Retrieve it. Be strong with it. And go to the free throw line. Run as much clock as possible.
8.6 seconds to go in this one. Auburn 72, Houston 69. Auburn basketball. Full length of the floor to go for the Tigers.
I'm just kind of anxious to see whether Coach Pearl will send somebody long on this initial throw-in play.
Broom with 20, Pettiford with 19. Johnson, a double-double, 11 points and 10 rebounds for the Tigers. The leading scorers, 4 in double figures. Cryer and Sharp with 13 apiece, 12 for Roberts, 10 more for Tugler. Auburn basketball, Pettiford, Miles Kelly, Chaney Johnson, Denver Jones, Chad Baker-Mazzara. That's your Auburn 5. It's a small lineup, good free throws all.
That is the strategic move that Coach Pearl made then, put his free throw shooters in the game. He's got 4 guards in the game. They'll move quickly, try to get open.
Chad Baker will trigger for Auburn. Looking inbound, foul in the play. They fouled Pettiford. They fouled Pettiford. That's Cryer's 4th. And Tahad Pettiford in his 2nd game as an Auburn Tiger, who has had a career game tonight. 19 points, can knock home at least one of these free throws and make it a 2-possession game with 8.6 seconds remaining.
This young freshman has been relentless tonight.
These are the first free throw attempts of Tahad Pettiford's Auburn career. Lefty shooter, first free throw, good!
He didn't even bat an eye. He went through his routine.
4-point lead Auburn, 8.6 seconds to go.
What an outstanding future this young man has got to come into a place with the guard plate of the University of Houston and come out and perform like he has.
Broom will replace Pettiford if Tahad knocks down both, just for the defensive purpose. You hear, it's great to be an Auburn Tiger. Raining down here in the Toyota Center. Wow. Pettiford's free throw's good.
Both.
He'll come out. Broom is in. 8.6 seconds to go. Auburn by 5. 74-69. Full length of the floor to go. Inbound to Cryer. Across midcourt. Down the lane, Cryer. To the hole. Blocked by Broom. Rebounded by Chad Baker, but he was out of bounds with 2.1 seconds to go.
No fouls. Just let them get the ball inbounds.
4 5-point Auburn lead. 2.1 seconds to go. They'll inbound from the right corner. Bruce Pearl looks at the Auburn crowd. They come to their feet here in Houston. Auburn by 4.
Wow.
2.1 seconds to go.
The Auburn Tiger fans are on their feet.
The inbound will come from the corner. Underneath, no good. Rebound Broom. Down goes Houston. Down goes Houston. Auburn comes to Houston and beats the Cougars. 74-69.
What a game. What a game. What a performance by all the players. But the spark off the bench was a big difference offensively.
Houston led by 9 in the second half. Never could get the lead to double figures. The Tigers come roaring back and pull away for a 74-69 win. The final score tonight. The leading scorer for the Tigers, Tahad Pettiford with 21. He's the Wind Creek high scorer for the Tigers. Elevate your game plan to fabulous. Play the hottest games. Win fabulous rewards at Wind Creek Casinos and on the Casinoverse app. Your final from Houston. Auburn 74, Houston 69. Stay tuned. The Regions Bank postgame show is next. And this is the Auburn Sports Network.
Hey, fans. Last year, you helped Auburn women's basketball break attendance records in Neville Arena. Be sure to